Welcome to the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series presented by CW57 Sports. We are in Evansville tonight to have the Blue Devils take on the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide. Huge small-town rivalry game tonight. My name's Ryan Ashker alongside Rich Reynolds, and we're going to have all the action for you right here on CW57 Sports tonight. Now, Rich, one of the things we're going to be looking for, both teams heavy on the run.
Yeah, you know, and in fact, Edgerton, I think, has only passed the ball 14 or 15 times all season long. So, yeah, we're going to see a lot of running. You know, and that's kind of common is what we've been seeing over the past few weeks. Some high schools have actually gone more spread and have done that. We haven't seen so much of that. We've been seeing a lot of grounded out, pounded out, and that's what we're going to see again tonight in a rivalry game. Two teams going to try and control the tempo and run the football.
It is homecoming here in Evansville. Already full stands. Beautiful night for high school football. And as Rich said, a huge rivalry game with the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide. Now, the teams might be a little different when it comes to records, but tonight you're never sure who's going to do it because these two teams do not like each other, and it's going to be a great matchup regardless.
Yeah, and it's not too far off. We're in the Rock Valley North tonight, and we got a team that's 3-0 in Evansville versus a team that's 2-1. That means, hey, Edgerton wins this game, they're tied for first place, plus they own the tiebreaker. So this is a huge game on so many different levels. It's a rivalry, it's homecoming, and it's for first place in the Rock Valley North.
It is the Rock Valley Bowl once again, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series on CW57 Sports. We're in Evansville to have the Blue Devils take on the Edgerton Crimson Tide. Should be a great matchup. We'll be back with more of the Al Byers pregame show in just a moment. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. It's the Rock County Bowl here on CW57 Sports. You're tuned into the Al Byers pregame show. We're in Evansville to see the Blue Devils take on the Edgerton Crimson Tide. And joining us now is Dan McHugh. Dan, thanks for joining us here this week.
Well, absolutely. Love to be here.
And this game holds a special place in your heart. Can you tell us a little bit why?
Sure can, because this is a big rivalry. I went to Edgerton, played in Edgerton all 4 years, and working our way up this week was always super exciting. I mean, the adrenaline's going, and we're getting prepared to play on the field, and it was always a battle.
So you had you played on this field.
Sure did, all 4 years.
Wow, how about that? So you know what team he might be rooting for tonight here as we are in Evansville. Now, we want to talk a little bit about, we kind of teased at it last week, but fireplaces. We're getting into fall, winter, and now with football season on our way, there's nothing better than lighting a fire, kicking back a couple cold ones, and watching a football game. So what do people need to be prepared for come winter to have those fireplaces not only ready to go, but also safe to light?
Well, what we want to do is make sure that folks have a good, clean operating equipment, have it tuned up regarding gas units. But we also want to make sure for solid fuel units like wood burners, make sure that the chimney's nice and clean. Of course, you don't want to have to get up there and mess with that when there's ice and snow on the roof.
That doesn't sound safe or fun, so get that done before winter hits us.
That's right.
Now, one of the other things that we want to talk about, seeing that winter is kind of upon us, we're coming into it here very shortly. As your house is heating up, it gets really dry, you know, get bloody noses, maybe you get a little itchy. What are some things you guys can do to alleviate that stress in the winter?
What we like to do is offer people humidification systems.
Okay.
Because what it can do is add the proper level of humidity in the house and control that humidity. Helps you feel more comfortable. It helps keep your eyes and your ears and nose, throat from being scratchy and so on. And it also helps your furniture and hardwood floors from cracking as well.
I wish I would have known that. That's why my hardwood floors are cracking. And that's not a cheap fix either.
No, sometimes you just have to wait until spring and it gets wet again.
There you go. Well, Dan, thanks for joining us. We do have a big game lined up, especially for the folks over at Al Byers. It is the Evansville Blue Devils taking on the Edgerton Crimson Tide. Dan, he's going to be cheering for Edgerton tonight, but we are going to have a fantastic game ahead of you. It's the Al Byers pregame show, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series right here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. The Edgerton Crimson Tide are coming in to take on the Evansville Blue Devils, and right now we're joined by Evansville Coach Goldstein. Coach, thanks for joining us here today. How are you doing?
Well, thank you for being here. It's a great effort.
So you guys got some big boys on the team tonight. What's the plan going forward in a big rivalry game here in front of the home crowd?
What's the plan? I'm not going to give that away. No, we're just going to run the ball as much as we can.
Okay.
We got to use what we got, and we've been pretty successful so far. We just have to cut out the penalties and turnovers.
Sure.
Edgerton does a lot of running as well, so we're kind of expecting to see that, and with their tailback Micah Rudd. But your defense has been up to the task, it seems, so far this year. You've pitched a couple of shutouts. Talk about your defense so far.
Well, they've been playing good, and it's a test tonight. This Rudd is very good, and he had a week off, so he's ready for us.
Now, as you're looking ahead, obviously a big night for the boys. Looks to be homecoming. Already a big crowd, rivalry game. Does that give any added pressure to your boys coming in tonight?
There's no records.
No records.
There's no records. It's just Evansville against Edgerton, and it's going to be a great game.
Sounds good.
Yeah, everybody's been talking about that, and now you start looking at there's no record, but you got to start looking ahead to the playoffs. I think this year, right? Is this definitely on the horizon for you?
We don't think about the playoffs.
No playoffs?
No. We think about
playoffs.
We think about this game, and it's going to be a good one.
Well, we want to wish you guys the best of luck. Coach Grovestein, thanks for joining us here tonight, and good luck.
Well, thanks for being here.
We appreciate it very much.
You did a super job, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Grovestein of the Edgerton Albany Blue Devils. They're going to be taking on the Edgerton Crimson Tide tonight. We'll be back with more of the Rock County Bowl on CW57 Sports in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. It is the Al Byers pregame show. Edgerton Crimson Tide coming into Evansville to take on the Blue Devils. And right now we're joined by Edgerton head coach, Coach Gregory. Coach, thanks for joining us here today.
Oh, appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
So the Rock County Bowl here tonight, going to be a very exciting matchup. They got some big boys, but you guys have a pretty stocked running game that I'm looking forward to see tonight.
Well, we think it's going to be a good game anytime you put Evansville and Edgerton together. It's a big rivalry game, and we think it'll be a good one.
Yeah, you talked about the running game a little bit. The defense as well. You're coming off of pitching a shutout. Talk about that defense that you had against McFarland and what you guys were able to do.
Well, our defense played outstanding last week. We forced 9 fumbles, picked off 3 passes. We're able to play some field position with them and keep them out of the end zone, and that was huge on a wet and rainy night. Where field position was at a real premium, but our defense won that game last week for us.
Now, as you guys are coming into Evansville on the road, it's their homecoming. They already got a full crowd of stands here. Is that any added motivation for your team, or do you guys just want to come out here and play your game?
We just want to play our game. It's Edgerton, Evansville. You could play this in a cornfield, and it's going to be a big game. So, all that other stuff is nice, and hopefully people get a good show tonight. So.
Talking to Dan from Al Byers, before the game, and he was talking too about Micah Rudd, and Micah Rudd's been off to a hot start. Talk about your senior tailback.
Micah's had a real solid year. He had a great game coming out. He's been a little nicked up lately. He's missed a game and a half due to some injuries, but he came out at 423 yards and 7 touchdowns the opening week, and that was just absolutely amazing. And yeah, he's a good kid, and he's waited in the wings because we've had some good running backs ahead of him. So. He'll be ready to roll tonight, though.
Well, Coach Gregory, we want to wish you and your Crimson Tide the best of luck here tonight in the Rock County Bowl.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Coach Gregory, coach of the Edgerton Crimson Tide. We are in Evansville where they're going to take on the Blue Devils. It is the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series, and we'll be right back with CW57 Sports. Welcome to the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. And we have a good old-fashioned rivalry game lined up for you as we are in Evansville to have the Evansville Albany Blue Devils taking on the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide. My name is Ryan Asher. Alongside is Rich Reynolds, and it is a packed house here tonight for this football game. Homecoming here in Evansville, blue everywhere, and even a few people from Edgerton made their way, and they're in some neon colors tonight, but just a sea of blue below us here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely an exciting night, and you can kind of feel it here. There's a lot of things going on. Like you said, it's homecoming. It's a rivalry game, and it's for first place in the Rock Valley North. all of those things together makes for an electric kind of feel, and that's what we have here tonight. And we were welcomed with open arms. The stadium itself is gorgeous, and the people are charged up for this football game tonight. I think we're going to have a good one.
Very much so. You saw, if you had a chance to turn into the pregame today, both coaches very excited, especially on the Evansville side of things. So we should have a good matchup. They said it doesn't matter what the records are. These two teams don't like each other. It is a rivalry game, and we're going to see a lot of that here tonight and how that's going to play off and how it's going to develop. Now, Evansville is a much bigger team. Edgerton a small team, so what we're going to see tonight, a lot of running, a lot of good old-fashioned, hard-nosed, straight-ahead A to B gap running football.
And both coaches made no secret about that during our pregame interview. And like you said, with Evansville, they got a couple of 300-pounders going, including a sophomore who's 340 pounds, a senior at 320. They got some big boys to run behind. We were talking about it before the game. Hey, just line those guys up and run behind them. You could tell the defense you're going to be running behind them. That's some big, beefy boys to be running behind tonight, and I bet you we're going to see a lot of ground game here this evening.
You can tell you're at small-town football when the starting lineup gets introduced by name. One of the first times we've seen that this season. Love it. If that doesn't get you excited, if you're a player in high school, man, I don't know what is. So the Edgerton Crimson Tide just finishing getting introduced, and we're about to go to the home Evansville Albany Blue Devils. It is homecoming here tonight, and these boys are ready to go.
And look at him coming through with the sledgehammer as well, and everybody excited about tonight. And, you know, it's one of the better atmospheres that we've even seen so far this season. And I think a lot of it has to do with homecoming as well. I know just, you know, when you play in a homecoming game, it just means that much more. And usually on homecoming, what you see is, though, a team that lines up a team that they think they can beat. You don't usually see a homecoming game where they schedule a rival, and that really makes it something tonight.
It definitely does. So those are just a couple of things to watch tonight. Just an absolutely beautiful set of stands here on the home side of the field here in Evansville. Those stands Edgerton's sitting in, we can't say as much about for them. Those things did not look that appeasing when we walked in here tonight. But
they must have passed code, though.
They must have passed code. We have a fantastic vantage point of this game. Evansville doing a fantastic job, a great job of welcoming us here tonight. And we're going to have a good football game lined up.
Absolutely. As you see, the players are definitely fired up. The coaches are into it. And again, Evansville comes into this game absolutely undefeated. But Edgerton, they've won their last two games. They're 2-1 in conference, 3-2 overall, you know, including wins over Whitewater and McFarland. They shut out McFarland. But then again, so did Evansville. It's a common opponent, and neither team allowed a single point to McFarland in those games. So I think you're going to see a pretty even matchup how it goes this evening.
Sure. And there are the Evansville Albany Blue Devils.
And that sledgehammer right there in the middle. Break some rocks here in the Rock County Bowl.
Yeah,
I like the sound of it, Rock County. It just sounds strong and hard-nosed, and, you know, that's what football should be.
And we are definitely going to see a lot of that tonight. Not, you know, it's not going to be one of those finesse games. It's not going to be one of those games where they really air it out and throw it all over the field. We're going to see a lot of running. Hard-nosed football right up the gap. That's something, if you like to watch, you're going to see a lot of that here tonight.
Yeah, Edgerton's thrown the ball 15 times all season with their quarterback, and so it's just not a passing kind of game. Tonight is good old-fashioned football, and hopefully we're going to see some good old-fashioned hitting. That's one thing that's been kind of missing in some of the games we've seen is some really hard hitting, but sometimes it has to do with the weather. We've had a couple of rainy games. Sometimes it has to do with the heat. There's no excuse for that tonight. This is good hitting weather.
And as we get going, it is going to be Evansville kicking off from left to right to the Crimson Tide of Edgerton.
Absolutely beautiful drive coming in here on 14 tonight as well. I always love coming into Evansville. It's such a neat town, and the town absolutely, I think, shut down tonight as everybody and their mothers here in this stadium for this football game.
Jackson Erickson going to be back to receive it for Edgerton. And there is the kick. Low line drive kick going to be picked up, fumbled now at the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. Trying to pull that one down was Nicholas Hessian.
Yeah, and that's a free ball right there, and sometimes you could panic a little bit knowing that as a receiver, but good job falling on it. It's all you want to do, get your offense out there and start the game off. And for Edgerton, what you got to be looking for right away is going to Micah Rudd out of the backfield.
Gunnar Wildman going to be your starting quarterback for Edgerton, and I don't know if there is a better name for a quarterback than Gunnar.
It's the name of Boomer Esiason's kid.
Yeah, his name is Boomer.
Yep.
There is a snap. Looking to throw right off the bat on the little dump-off bubble screen. That's not how we expected this game to start. That is complete to Joshua Kaufman.
Exactly what we talked about. We're going to see a lot of throwing here tonight. Now, it's one of those things that if you're a coach, you got to sometimes go against the grain and try and mess the team up. We saw that last week where Middleton was passing a lot, and they weren't a very pass team. And so now you're actually going to see maybe a little bit of that from Edgerton. I don't think we'll see a lot of it, but at least it gives the defense something to think about.
Rudd lined up next to Wildman. The accomplished running back here for Edgerton. Wildman rolling out to the far side, looking to pass, now going to keep it, and he's going to be pulled down from the back. Didn't look like he picked up much there on the quarterback keeper for Wildman. Good coverage downfield, not allowing him to let that ball go.
Good backside pursuit there by 69, Andrew Barra, the senior, who was able to chase down Wildman all the way across in the defensive end, wraps him up, plants him into the ground for no gain.
See there on the KJ replay what we're talking about. Want to thank Houston Goggin, Dane County's premier realtor. If you're buying or selling, visit kjsellsmadison.com. 3rd and 7 for Wildman. Running back lined up to his left. Here is going to be the first handoff of the game, and he's going to go right up the middle. That is Rudd. And Rudd not going to get enough for a first down. That'll bring up 4th and about 5.
Even on 3rd and long, 9 guys in the box for the Evansville defense. They weren't going to be buying the fact that there was going to be a throw, even out of shotgun. They were ready for Rudd there, and a minimal gain forces 4th down.
Edgerton looking to punt here. Evansville, 2 men back to receive. Not much pressure on the punter. Good punt. Going to receive it about the 45-yard line, and he's going to bring it near side. And the first man to get to him, very impressive tackle there. That was Isaiah Rodriguez with the tackle there for Edgerton.
In a defensive battle where both teams like to run the football, special teams are going to be key all night long. We've seen field position battles so far this season, and you might see another one here tonight. As you see there, great tackle by Rodriguez to put the Evansville team at the 40.
Evansville going to start this drive just on the other side of the 40-yard line. Zachary Mielke in at quarterback. Mielke going to hand off to the big fullback, and that's a load to pull down. That is Riker Brown, listed at 5'7", 225.
Brown looks like a lineman, and he got that and some good blocking. As you see the shoulders on Brown even walking back to the huddle in a pickup of 9. And we already told you about some big boys that they have up front. Boy, you put a big guy in the backfield there as well. That's going to take a lot of Crimson Tide to stop.
Going to try it again, 2nd and short. Brown lined up to the right of the QB. Looking to throw. That's going to be completed. Down the near side, reaching out. That should be enough for a courtesy Ford first down. And that pass goes to Samuel Hagel.
Nice toss there by Mielke, just going to the sidelines on an out route to pick up the first down. 2nd and 1 is such a great down to pass on, as you could do just about anything, knowing that you could always come back on 3rd down and pick it up.
Mielke again starts out under center, then he's going to drop back, running back on each side. Here's the snap, hands off, going to run to the right, taken down from behind. That was Logan Katzenmeyer, the sophomore.
Katzenmeyer getting his first carry of the night. Hasn't carried too much this year, but this is a team that uses a lot of different players coming out of the backfield. Where for Edgerton, you'll see a heavy dose of Micah Rudd. For Evansville, they'll use a host of running backs.
Really interesting pre-snap from Evansville. You don't see that a lot. It's a little shift every down so far. Hand off the big running back. He's going to go to the left. Runs through two men, spinning, still up. Takes two men to pull him down for Riker Brown.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, I think is what Chris Berman calls it. And, you know, there was a little bit of everything. You saw drive blocking on the left side of the line, cut blocking on the right side, and it just opened up a huge hole there for the big fullback. His second carry of the night, bust through for 17 yards and a first down, and he's going through the second part of that defense just like a bowling ball.
That is a Courtesy Ford first down. Courtesy Ford, your new truck destination. Evansville now within scoring position. Going to look to pass, fire one out to the right side. That's going to be completed down inside the 20. Pass pulled down there by Chase Katzenmeyer once again.
Second catch already, and right there you see Katzenmeyer's left alone on the outside one-on-one, and those are easy first down yards, a quick 6, and it puts you in really good shape down and distance-wise for second down and short.
Second down for the Blue Devils.
3 running back start. They're going to split out, become receivers. Brown to the right of the quarterback. He's going to get the ball, go to the left side, spin around, and be pulled down just at about the line of scrimmage there. Didn't have enough time to get up and running.
Yeah, Brown takes a little while to get going. He's looking to run behind Brandon Dorsey, number 75, 6'4", 320, and he's trying that left side, and that time, nothing home. Is a good job by the Edgerton defense to fill the gaps.
2 yards on the play. Third down and 5 for the Blue Devils.
3rd and 5 now for the Blue Devils. Hand off to the left. Gonna lower his shoulder and pound it ahead to the 10-yard line. That will be enough for a Courtesy Ford first down.
And a pickup of 9, yeah. And Brown just going off that left side once again, as I think right now the Blue Devils are going to continue that until they're stopped. If you find something in a defense that works, make them stop you. Don't stop yourself. And right now they got Brown going left side, and that's allowing them to pick up some good yardage.
11-yard line.
Quick snap there. Going to hand it up to Brown. Brown going to go right up the middle and pound it down to about the 5-yard line. So continuing to just pound the rock here with the big fullback is leading to success for Evansville. Well, we have a moment.
Not very nimble there, as actually there was some penetration there by 52. That's Ansel Chesney, who was diving in and caused the big fella to move his feet just a little bit, and that slowed him down just enough so that the defense was able to come from behind and tackle him.
2 running backs. This one going to be an end around. That's going to go to the receiver. That's going to go for a touchdown for Samuel Hagel, the tight end. That is a J&K Security Solutions touchdown. Home theater, home security now, home automation. J&K Security Solutions, integrate your world. And you know there, Edgerton was looking for the big fullback Brown to come through, and they ended up doing an end around to the tight end. And that's going to lead to a touchdown for the Blue Devils.
Great job of play calling by the Evansville staff. Both teams wanted to come out and run the ball. After round number 1, it was Evansville who just ran it better.
I love this lineup for a 2-point. Falls incomplete, intended for Kyle Rutkowski. I just love those little glitch plays. Those are a lot of fun. Well, after that score, we do want to thank A-1 Furniture and Mattress, our official Bowl Series sponsor, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find them on the West Beltline Highway or South Stoughton Road. A-1 Furniture and Mattress. We'll be back. We'll see if Edgerton can get the ball going when we return. We have more of the Rock County Bowl here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. We are in Evansville as the Blue Devils just went up 6-0 over the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide.
Great job of running the ball on that first series as Evansville said, hey, we're going to run. Nobody's made a secret out of it. 48 yards on the ground on that first series alone, 38 of them belonging to the big fullback, Riker Brown.
Evansville to kick off another short kick. Going to be picked up at about the 20 out to the 25-30. 35 going to be pulled down about the 36-yard line, and that's where Edgerton is going to start this drive. Not picking up a lot of offense in the opening drive of the game, but now they're down. We'll see if they can answer the call from Evansville.
Yeah, Edgerton has been on a roll. They've won 2 weeks in a row, 21-20 over Whitewater, 6-0 over McFarland. And, you know, it's a team that, you know, has won close games, lost games that weren't close. And tonight, I think what you really got to hope for if you're Coach Gregory is that you're in a close game all night long.
Here is going to be the handoff to Rudd right up the middle. Might pick up a yard or so on that. Want to thank Molly Leader and her family, owners of Subway Sandwiches of Edgerton and Evansville. So they're on both sidelines cheering tonight. They fed our entire staff here this evening, and just some fantastic stuff. In Edgerton, they're located on North Main Street, and Evansville, Union Street Subway. Eat fresh.
I'm stuffed, man. I love that Subway Club. Love it.
Shotgun formation. Takes the handoff to Rudd. Now a pass across the middle, and we're going to get an O'Reilly Auto Parts flag on that as it was intended for Clayton Kluberdance. And that's going to fall incomplete. O'Reilly Auto Parts, big thank you to them and their commitment to support local high school athletics. Better parts, better prices every day.
And pass interference is going to be the call, and I thought it was good coverage there. What we don't have the advantage of is that backside. And a lot of times what ends up happening if you're a defensive back, you throw that other arm around the guy's back, and I think that's what you saw right there. On one side, it looks like great coverage. The other side, if you're a ref, you could see, hey, he's draped on him, and that's when that flag comes in. 15 yards and a big pickup there for Edgerton as they get their first down.
Biggest gain of the night for Edgerton, coming on a penalty flag so far. Still early in the game. 4:45 left in the first quarter. Handoff to Rudd. He's going to look to the left and just get shut down by that big Evansville D.
Tell you what, Evansville knows that Micah Rudd is back out there. Coach Gregory talked about the fact he's been slowed down. He missed a game and a half. But where he goes, that's where the defense is following right now. And it would be a great time if you got it in the repertoire, if you are the Crimson Tide, to say, hey, you know what? Little play action, because right now everything is following Rudd.
Yeah, that'll suck up the safeties and could allow you to get something over the top, that play action. Rudd in the backfield, staying to the left of Wildman.
9 in the box for Evansville.
Handoff to Rudd up the middle. Looks to pick up about 3 on that play. Going to bring up 3rd and looks to be about 8 for the Crimson Tide.
Again, there's only so much you can do when there's that many blue jerseys in the box. How do you really get going? How do you bust through and get a hole? And right now, it's 9 in the box every single time for the Blue Devils. And hey, that's good strategy. If it's working, if you could shut down Rudd that way, keep doing it until they could prove that they have to make you get out of it, until they force you to get out of that defense.
All right, going to need a big play here to pick up the first down. Motion for the Crimson Tide. Wildman rolling out near side. Going to fire one downfield. That's going to be completed at the sideline down about the 25, and that'll be enough for a courtesy Ford first down. Pass goes to Joshua Kaufman, the senior.
Kaufman came into the game as the second leading receiver for the Crimson Tide with 1 catch on the season. He's already doubled that and has 2 tonight, including that pass right there for a first down. That'll tell you how little the Crimson Tide has had to pass so far this season.
It's a nice pass there from Wildman, rolling out on the run, able to deliver a bullet there to the sideline.
Yeah, and he threw against his own body as well. Always hard to do.
Wildman again looking to pass. That's going to be intercepted by Evansville. Bringing that down, that is number 19 on the play. Brock Gilkis.
Pass intercepted by number 18, Brock.
And if you look on the replay, it was just the linebacker stepping underneath. They had over-the-top coverage as well from the corner. The linebacker steps right in front there in Gilkis and makes a big interception. As Edgerton was moving the football, that's a big turnover here early in this football game.
Really is. Blue Devils back at it, already leading 6-0. Just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter here in Evansville. Brown lined up at running back. Here's that end around that scored on the last drive as it goes back out to the tight end, Samuel Hagel.
Tackled by number 42, Nathan Armstrong.
There is an O'Reilly honor penalty flag on that play, and it appears to be on Evansville. That's going to be a hold.
Holding. Called against the Blue Devils.
Second flag already against the Blue Devils tonight for a total of 25 yards. That hurts. You know, rather than having a 2nd down and 7, now you're looking at 1st down. They're going to call it 21. It is a spot foul, and that's a long way to go. Again, for teams that don't pass the ball a whole heck of a lot, it's a lot of yards to have to pick up.
I want to thank Al Byers Indoor Comfort Systems. Feel good in every room of your house with April Air Zone Control. Available at Al Byers. Feel good inside. Evansville now with a lot of yards they're going to have to pick up. And they are going to look to pass here. Launching one down the right side of the field. Got a man open. Just off the fingertips. Intended receiver. There was Chase Katzenmeyer, and just off his fingertips as the ball falls incomplete.
Little out and up, double move there, and actually not too bad of a throw, just led Katzenmeyer a bit too much on what would have been a big gain, and great camera work that time, guys, on the KJ replay, as you see it just past the diving, outstretched fingers of Katzenmeyer.
2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Looking at 2nd and 20 here for the Blue Devils. They're going to hand it off to Brown. He's going to bowl ahead to the left side, throwing Crimson Tide members off of him. And they're going to push him all the way back to the end zone. The whistle blew much earlier, stopping his forward momentum on that. We want to urge you guys to stay tuned. We do have the Mad City Freaks halftime show coming up after the second quarter. Visit them on State Street and experience the best fries in Madison.
3 Crimson Tide draped on Brown, on Riker Brown, and he would not go down. Absolutely fierce running by the fullback.
2nd down. 3rd down for the Blue Devils.
Looking to pass again, Evansville. Big toss down, and that is nearly intercepted. Should have been picked off there by the Crimson Tide. Hitting him right in the hands. That was Daniel Zemet.
Mielke rolls right, has plenty of time to survey the field, and I think just made a bad throw. That ball sailed on him, and yeah, boy, that would have been a turnover going back the other way, and you know, too bad there. He had the time. He was set up. I think he had a receiver, but that ball came out of his hands a little bit funny and ended up sailing the throw.
4th and 16 for the Blue Devils.
It appears that that's going to force them to punt. And there you see him moving back into punt formation. That rugby-style punt we've seen so much this season. Not a very good punt, as Edgerton is going to take over in Evansville territory. So good starting field position here for Edgerton, their 3rd shot of the game. Also want to give a huge shout-out and thank you to Kelly Stouts, our proud supporter of local high school athletics. Kelly Stouts, your knowledgeable and trusted realtor.
Great field position. So now Edgerton, off of that interception, was able to stem the tide, if you will, the Crimson Tide, and hold on here and get the ball back basically where they threw the pick from. So not too much loss there at all. And now if Edgerton can turn around and turn it into points, there's nothing lost at all on a drive.
1st and 10 for the Tide. From the Blue
Back
Devils.
at it for the Crimson Tide, Gunnar Wildman. Wildman fakes the play action. He's going to keep it. Launch ahead. There is going to be a flag on that play. It appears to be in the area of holding. But a good run there for Wildman. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to stand as we have an O'Reilly Auto Parts penalty flag on the field.
Pretty sure they got Joshua Kaufman there for a hold, and the reason why I know it was Kaufman is because he's the one who stood up and threw his hands up like he did nothing wrong. It's always that guy.
Always.
It's one of those things that if you throw your hands up in the air saying you didn't do anything wrong, that's when the ref finally decides, all right, now I'm throwing the flag at you, buddy. It's one of those things you never want to do. It's just a kind of a knee-jerk reaction for Kaufman, but he ends up picking up the flag here, and it turns out being a big loss instead of a big run. It's a big penalty going back the other, and right there's Kaufman, who wrapped up his man as the yellow hanky comes out.
2nd and 20 now for the Crimson Tide. Already seen much more passing in this game than we would have thought.
And early in the downs kind of passing, too, not just third down passing, but first and second down passing.
Wildman set up. He's going to hand it off to Rudd. Rudd not going to go anywhere. Might pick up half a yard on that play. And one of the interesting things, I don't know why that's the case, but not very good tackling here in this game. They just kind of seem to be wrapping up and stopping forward momentum. Not a lot of running backs ending up on the ground.
We haven't seen the hitting that we thought we would see so far. What we have seen is great play from Lucius Reinhardt, who made the stop right there, did a great job of shedding his blocker. But you're absolutely right. We thought we'd be seeing a lot more people on the ground, a lot of those pad-to-pad hits that you could actually hear up in the booth. We haven't seen a lot of that so far tonight.
Wildman lined up. Rudd to his left. Fakes the handoff to Rudd. Now tosses one across the middle. That's going to be complete. And that is Clayton Klubertaz again. Kluberton's a couple receptions on the day already, or at least targeted a few times for that Crimson Tide offense.
And a great job that time of Wildman being able to stay in the pocket. There was pressure. There's a guy on him and still made a quality throw downfield, and it ends up being 3rd and short.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. And at the end of the first, it is 6-0 in favor of the home Evansville-Albany Blue Devils. That is a Toyota timeout. Toyota, let's go places. We'll be back in more of the Rock County Bowl here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl series. It is the Rock County Bowl, and it is homecoming here in Evansville. As you see a big old sea of blue on your screen, the whole town came out to watch this rivalry game as their Blue Devils are taking on the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide. And so far we've seen a lot of what we thought, but more passing. We knew it was going to be a run-heavy game, but so far a lot of passing from both teams as Edgerton now is on a drive. They got 3rd. And looks to be about 3 to go on that last big completion.
Edgerton has more passing yards than rushing yards. 31 yards passing, 5 rushing. And again, this isn't what we have seen at all. Wildman just 15 attempts and 7 completions all season coming into this football game. That's only 3 attempts per game, and he's already passed that tonight.
Wildman rolling out to his right, looking to throw that one way over the intended receiver. Intended for Daniel Zemet. That's going to fall incomplete and bring up 4th down.
When you don't do it a lot, it's not crisp. And there was problems blocking it, and there was problems running the route and problems throwing it. You saw all 3 phases there, what it takes for passing, good blocking, good route running, and a good toss. All 3 were off on that play because it's not something that the Crimson Tide does very often.
Edgerton taking a lot of time here, waiting to get the play in.
Big 4th down coming up.
And it appears as if they will be going for it as Gunnar Wildman and Rudd is lined up to his left. Wildman takes a snap, going to keep it himself, go up the middle, and that's close. It looks from here like he got it. If not, that is very close in the keeper for Wildman.
At first, I didn't think he had a prayer, but Wildman did a good job of being patient, finding just a little bit of a crease and going forward. He might be just a little bit short. They'll have to bring the chains out on that, but it looked like it was going nowhere at all. I think Wildman made the best of a bad situation.
That is a Toyota timeout as the officials want to measure it, and it is going to be close here, and that is going to be just about a foot short of a first down, and that's going to be Evansville football. That's crushing if you are Edgerton. Want to thank really quickly AccuClimb Mechanical Services. Call now and you get $40 off a thorough and professional precision tune-up of your furnace. AccuClimb Mechanical Services, you'll feel just right.
A turnover by an interception, now a turnover on downs. And Edgerton has had some early chances here to put some points up on the board and get in this football game. But right now what they really need to focus on is keeping Evansville from having another drive.
Milky lined up under center. Another end-around play there, and that's going to be a big gainer. And we talked about the number of running backs they used, and that is a huge play. This time it goes to Nathan Redders, the senior. Big carry on the play. That is a huge Courtesy Ford first down. Courtesy Ford up in Sauk Prairie, your new truck destination.
Nice cut right there by Redders, and then makes another one as he takes three guys out. Redders came into this game as the leading rusher for the Blue Devils. In fact, 488 yards, getting 8 yards per touch and 122 per game so far. He's not the touchdown guy. That's Brown, who has 8 touchdowns, but Redders is the one that gets all the yards in between the 20s.
Does all the work. Brown gets the glory.
That's work, too.
High snap. Milky going to look to throw. Another completion out to the left side. Once again, that is Redders. He's going to pull that down and pick up another Courtesy Ford first down.
Redders just on a little bleed route where he sneaks out of the backfield and is wide open in space. And a nice job by Milky to get it there on time, which allows the runner to turn and see all that open space, pick up as many yards as possible. In fact, 13 in all on the play, and the 6th first down of the game for the Blue Devils.
Milky going to drop back in a shotgun. Going to have Brown lined up to his right. Redders coming across now in motion. Milky again looking to throw. He's going to roll out to the right. Going to find a receiver on that, and he's going to crush past the first down inside the 10. Trevor Bierman. He's going to pick up that catch, and you'll see here on the KJ replay, a nice little run out, and he's able to come across the middle just untouched, wide open, lowers the shoulder here, and going to be brought down right about the 10-yard line. I want to thank Kirsten Goggins for all of our replays tonight. Dane County's premier realtor. If you're buying or selling, visit kjsellsmadison.com.
The flats are open tonight and open for business, as that is wide open passing.
Going to be a handoff to Brown, and then Milky's actually going to lead block for him as Brown picks up just about 6 on there, and they'll be inside the 5-yard line. And the Blue Devils threatening again.
Brown's the guy who gets it near the goal line. We talked about the fact he's got 8 touchdowns so far this season. And this time he's following the sophomore, 64 Jeb Beck, 6'3", 340, and a sophomore. That's like a Badger-sized lineman right there.
That's a big boy for only being a sophomore. Here it is up to Brown again, and Brown going to trot it in for a touchdown. That is a J&K Security Solutions touchdown. Home theater, home security, now home automation. J&K Security Solutions. Integrate your world, and that will put the Blue Devils up 12-0 on homecoming here at Ron Grovestein Field here in front of a packed house.
I tell you what, it's one of those things that I really miss that you used to see in the NFL that you never see anymore, but you still see on the high school level, and that's the fullback getting the tough yards close to the goal line and just powering his way through. That's a thing of beauty. To me, that's football. Maybe I'm old school, whatever it is, but I love to see the big fella near the goal line, and here he goes again.
Brown going to walk that one in to pick up the 2-point conversion, making the score now 14-0 over the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide. We want to thank Paul Kennerell and all the good folks over at A-1 Furniture for supporting us this season as our official Bowl Series sponsor. Locally owned and operated since 1980. Find them on the West Beltline Highway or South Stoughton Road. A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Big fella gets a touchdown, then he gets the two-pointer as well. Boy, Riker Brown's a lot of fun to watch. Low to the ground, big guy, moves those feet, gets trucking, and once he gets going, that's a load to bring down. And Edgerton has to find an answer for Riker Brown, otherwise it's going to be a long night.
With that size advantage that Evansville has, I don't know if there is an answer on that Edgerton sideline. You got huge linemen and just a massive running back. Now, for the first time, it is going to be Evansville kicking off from right to left, as you see it on the screen. Another opportunity here for Edgerton. Last one, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with a big penalty to start the drive off.
By the way, what a gorgeous night for homecoming. Just about a full moon here, as well as I know there's homecomings going on all over the state of Wisconsin and elsewhere. And it's just a great time of year and great to be under the lights here on a Friday night.
Another low line drive kick picked up at the 20, now out to the 30. Across with a spin move out to the 35. Penalty flags everywhere. And depending on what the call is, Edgerton going to start at about the 36-yard line. But there's O'Reilly Auto Parts Laundry all over the field.
Flags coming in from a couple different directions is never good for the return team, and they're going to march Edgerton back already in a 14-0 hole. I think what you're looking at right now is the key possession of the game for Edgerton. The Crimson Tide need to roll and put some points up on the board. Otherwise, they're in jeopardy of this game slipping away from them very quickly.
Well, you heard him say it. Rich just said roll tide on a Wisconsin television station. We do want to thank O'Reilly Auto Parts while we have the chance. A big thank you to O'Reilly Auto Parts and their commitment to support local high school athletics. Better parts, better prices every day. And I tell you what, in this game, they've gotten a lot of mentions on that already. A couple big penalties tonight.
Absolutely, and it's hurt Edgerton here as they lose another 10 to start a drive. And here we go. They have got to start something and have a sustained drive against the EA defense.
There is a snap. Going to hand it off to Rudd. Rudd powers ahead, picks up maybe 3 on the carry, and this offensive line just not getting a lot of push against the bigger Evansville front.
And Micah Rudd's used to having room to run. Came into this game averaging 8.9 yards per carry,
Wow.
has 9 touchdowns, 7 of them came in one game, and 192 yards per game. Over 400 of them came also in one game. But Micah Rudd's used to having some room to roam. He has not seen any holes here this evening.
That could explain why we've seen Edgerton air it out a bit more than usual. Wildman going to hand it off again to Rudd. Rudd with patience running behind his blockers. That's something you like to see in there. Doing a good job off the left side, giving him a little bit of room. Rudd slow to get up on the field.
He's been ailing a little bit, and he's going to come out of this football game. Good penetration by 99 Noah Pagel. He's playing the nose tackle in this 3-4. He takes 2 offensive linemen with him. Now, it didn't show up as much on this play as the linebackers didn't fill the gaps, but Noah Pagel has been getting a lot of penetration, getting into the backfield of the Tide, and that's what's causing a lot of short gains so far this evening.
Rudd in a lot of pain on that Edgerton sideline, we can see. Offense back on the field here. Looking about a 3rd and 3. Going to be a handoff up the middle, spinning around, and that's going to be a courtesy forward first down. Carrying that was Daniel Zemet.
Number 44, Daniel Zeman on the carry.
Zymet so far on the season has been the 2nd leading rusher for this group, but it's a big drop-off with Rudd at 576 yards on the season. Zymet has 68 yards on the season, so you're looking at a big difference there. And, and one of the things, too, Zymet, just a sophomore, running up in there at 5'9", 160. Doesn't have a lot of size. We'll see how he fares against a very stout EA defense.
Able to spin off that and pick up the courtesy forward first down, bringing up 1st and 10 for the Crimson Tide. Wellman again drops back. He's going to keep it, run it up to the left side. Picks up about 7 on that carry. Good scramble there by Wildman. Should bring up 2nd and about 3 for the Crimson Tide.
The thing about Gunnar Wildman here, and the reason why he was able to pick up some yards, that the offensive line sold it as a pass. The defense reacted to pass because the offensive lineman stood straight up. It looked like pass. They read pass. After they took that one step back, they end up going forward. Big hole for Wildman. Did a nice job of finding a little seam and picking up 7 yards. That's quality yardage on first down.
Now having what's been their most successful drive of the game thus far. Wyoming going to hand off to Zymet. Not going to go anywhere on that. So it'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
Tried another sprint draw. That time it took a little bit too long to develop. And once again, Noah Pagel's in there to stop that. As you'll also see coming up, it looked like from that safety position is number 15. That's Brody Mag, who was able to get in there as well. So 3rd down here. And if you're Edgerton, boy, you really got to pick this up. You might even be in 4-down territory already.
There's snap, handoff again up the middle. Zyman's going to pick up the courtesy Ford first down. Another quick run up the gut. And that'll be enough for 4 more downs here for the Crimson Tide. Not a bad run there. Al Byers Indoor Comfort System. Feel good in every room of your home with Aprilaire Zone Control. Available at Al Byers. Feel good inside.
Crimson Tide coaching staff sitting right next to us up in this booth as we see them in the booth over. There's a window that separates us, but the play calling now, that was the same play almost 3 times in a row. It was the same blocking scheme. And so they've gotten the offensive linemen in a rhythm, and they found something that's kind of successful, and that's a little bit of a delayed type of a block and then a run.
Wildman tosses one out. Good defense there. Could have been intercepted by Evansville, as that was Mark Trewicki all over the receiver there. See, he had that arm around the back. Probably could have called it, but no flag on the play.
Nice job by Trewicki. He's the senior, 5'11", 160. And it was a good break on the ball. He timed it well. So even if that back arm, that left arm came in around the side, it was late enough where it really didn't interfere with how the play was going to go. And that's just how you teach it. Get that cornerback to play a few steps off and then break on the ball once it's thrown. Nice play.
Try a 2nd and 10 here for Wildman. Motion across the field, but delay of game called by the Crimson Tide, and they continue to hurt themselves with mistakes here in this game. That's not what you want to see. They'd have been better off taking a Toyota timeout. Toyota, let's go places.
3rd flag for the Crimson Tide. The first one, though, that is a pre-snap flag. Those are the ones that really feel like backbreakers. You don't even get the play started, and you're already moving backwards. That's the first time they did that. And a delay a game usually is just a pacing thing. You guys got to get out a little bit quicker, move a little bit faster to get that going.
If I don't win an award for that promo, that was a thing of beauty, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I get paid the medium bucks. All right, another run here for the Crimson Tide. Going to lower shoulder, get back up to about the original line of scrimmage. That was Zemet again.
Dan Zemet's come in and done a nice job so far tonight. He's got 5 carries, 17 yards. That's just over 4 yards a pop for the sophomore, who hasn't had a whole ton of work so far this season, but he did have 28 carries coming in, so he's had some game action. He's used to it, but not as in big of a game as we have here tonight. So we'll see if the sophomore can maintain his composure and also maintain the football in a big rivalry game.
3rd and 12 here now for the Crimson Tide. Wildman back, looking to pass, looking to the left side. He's going to fire one, and that falls incomplete. It looked to me like the receiver got shoved there. They're not going to call it. And you can see him looking for the flag that was intended to Joshua Kaufman. And you see here, yeah, he was on him. I think you almost got to throw the flag on that.
It was the left arm of the defender that came in and spun the receiver around, as on the coverage it was Demetrio Heniaitis. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Great Greek name right there. But he came in and had his left arm on the shoulder pad of the receiver, spun him, and forced the incompletion.
Corner coffin punt here. That's going to go out inside the 20-yard line. And the Blue Devils going to start at about the 19. We are going to be back and see if Evansville is going to put more points up on the board. It is homecoming here. The Evansville Blue Devils taking on the Edgerton Crimson Tide. The Rock Valley Bowl here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. The Blue Devils about to take over here on offense once again, currently leading the game 14-0. 4:50 left before half. Halftime coming up is brought to you by Mad City Frites. Visit them on State Street and enjoy the best fries in Madison. Here's going to be a little toss, and that's a whole lot of man out there. Big number 78 blocking. You got Brown, the running back, going to lower his shoulder, power ahead, and that's going to be a courtesy Ford first down. So between Brown on that run, and he was already following Austin Rupipper, who's listed at 312.
Wow.
Gotta feel bad for, who was it out there? Clayton Kluberdance. Gotta feel bad for him seeing about almost 600 pounds coming at you.
That's scary. That's how that was.
Now going to be a toss. That's going to be completed. Mielke kind of finding his rhythm here with his arm. That time completed to Rakowski.
Third completion in a row for Mielke. Yeah, he's having a good night so far, as on the game he has completed 5 of 7, 56 yards for an average of 11 yards so far per completion. So a nice job so far by Mielke getting the ball out, especially early in downs.
Just over 4 minutes left in the half. Going to be another toss out to Brown. Brown turns the corner, coming to the left. That's going to bring out an O'Reilly Auto Parts penalty flag. And that could be in the area of a holding on Evansville.
Absolutely believe it is going to bring a hold that's going to drag that one back, and I don't understand why you would need to hold on that play. Brown is coming out. He's being led by, you already talked about it, 78. Rupiper's out there as well. That's a big 312-pound guy. There was no need to hold on the back end. That's not where the play was at all. Instead, it's a silly kind of penalty that's going to cost EA 10 yards, as I believe on the play, were they getting 60 or 88 in there? Kind of hard to tell. Couldn't tell on the replay, but I think it's just silly because it was away from the ball.
Going to bring up 2nd and 14 here for the Blue Devils. Seconds ticking away in the first half. Mielke drops back to shotgun. Brown lined up to his right. Mielke thinks about passing. He's going to pull it down, run ahead, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield by the Crimson Tide. Good defensive stand there. I want to thank AccuClimb Mechanical Services once again. We're going to be looking for a Play of the Game award at the end of tonight's festivities. You can call now and get $40 off their thorough and professional precision tune-up. AccuClimb Mechanical Services, you'll feel just right.
Sorry about that. I think there was kind of a mix-up on that. It almost looked like they were trying to run a screen, but there was no one there to catch the ball. And so Mielke was kind of caught in a jailbreak then and just had to eat it.
Now under 3 minutes here for Evansville, looking at 3rd and 14. Mielke going to toss one down to the right side. That's going to fall complete. And that's a big first down, a courtesy Ford first down, as the pass goes to number 1, Kyle Rutkowski. The senior standing at 6'5", 187, able to pull that one down. And now, with 2:43 left in the half, Evansville right back in position to possibly put more points on the board.
Big target out on the split end is Rutkowski, and a nice throw that time by Mielke to hit him 30 yards on the play, as the yardage just keeps piling up. 193 total yards so far for Evansville-Albany.
Mielke looking to throw again, rolls out to the right, now back to the left. Another one that probably should have been intercepted there by Edgerton, as Joshua Kaufman was all over that swatted away with both hands. Pass intended for Nathan Redders.
Dangerous pass that time by Mielke. They one play action to Brown. Wasn't the greatest fake, and then there was no time, as I think there was a missed block on the play. Mielke decides to roll right and just should have thrown it away or eaten it, because at that point, anything else that was going to happen was going to be very dangerous. Nice play that time. Jacob Taylor was able to split through a couple of blockers and get the pressure on Mielke.
Hand off to Brown as he's going to go to the right side. And just a whole lot of man to try and tackle. That'll bring up about a 3rd and 5 for Evansville Albany.
Boy, Riker Brown just does not like to go down. I love watching a guy like this, because he's just out there saying, you know what, you could hit me. It doesn't matter. Pile up on me. I'm going to keep going, keep moving. It's why he's got all these touchdowns so far this year, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, not only that, he uses the spin move, too. For a big man, you don't see him use that spin move too often. And right now, he's in the running for that Kelly Stelzer MVP award. Kelly Stelzer, proud to support local high school athletics. You're knowledgeable and trusted realtor. End around here to Redders. Redders going to take it coming from the left, going to the right side. And he will be, looks to be just short of the first down.
As you see on the replay, a lot of people biting on Brown, allows a little room for Redders there. If he could have taken it outside just a little bit more, I think he would have got the first. But on 4th and 1, my guess is we might be seeing Riker Brown.
I would think on a 4th and 1, that's who you got to look for. And that is surely who we see. And he's not only going to pick up the courtesy Ford first down, he's going to pick up a lot more. And now the Blue Devils are in the red zone with just over a minute left before half.
I'm not a defensive coordinator, but I could smell that one coming. Riker Brown now has 11 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. You were talking about the player of the game so far. Brown's running away with it.
It is. That will be a Toyota timeout. Toyota, let's go places. We'll be back with the conclusion of the first half. It is the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. Rock County Bowl here, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. We have 1 minute and 13 seconds left in the half. Then we have the Mad City Freeze halftime show. It's been all Riker Brown so far in the first half, and all Evansville Albany Blue Devils as they're up 14-0 here on homecoming, and now they're looking to score again.
Both coaches said they wanted to run the football, and so far it's been Evansville that's been more effective. 127 yards rushing, 85 of them coming from Riker Brown.
Mm-hmm. And there's Brown again going up the middle.
Flag in on the play as well.
That flag got buried inside.
Yeah. Came from that umpire position sitting right there in the middle, and we got a face mask going the other way.
It is an O'Reilly Auto Parts penalty flag. Big thank you to O'Reilly Auto Parts there. Commitment to support local high school athletics. Better parts, better prices every day. Got that halftime show coming up, and I'm going to go eat some more of that Subway from Subway of Evansville and Subway of Edgerton. Molly Leader and her family feeding our entire crew here tonight. In Edgerton, they're on North Main Street, and in Evansville, they're on Union Street. Another big one up to the right side, and that's their quick running back, Nathan Redders. As Redders is going to pick up another courtesy Ford first down. That'll bring up 1st and goal now, under a minute to go in the first half.
Redders came into the game as the leading rusher for the Blue Devils. Only his 3rd carry of the night, but he's got 40 yards. That on a pickup of 8. And yeah, when you compare him especially to Riker Brown, boy, he looks super fast coming out of the backfield. But as they get close to the goal line, you can kind of sniff the fact that Brown's going to be getting the football again.
Letting seconds tick off the clock. And there it is, going to Brown. Brown's going to walk it in, and that'll be another touchdown for the Evansville Blue Devils. A J&K Security Solution touchdown. Home theater, home security now, home automation. J&K Security Solutions. Integrate your world. And as of right now, I tell you what, Riker Brown has a stranglehold on that Kelly Stelzer MVP award. Kelly Stelzer, proud to support local high school athletics, your knowledgeable and trusted realtor.
And Ryan, you talked about it as well. Edgerton just might not have an answer because they don't have the size to match up with Riker Brown going up the middle like that. Like Hank Stram used to say, it's just like stealing. There's not much you can do to stop it at this point.
Now it's going to be Redder. He's going to follow Brown, and that's going to get in for another 2-point conversion as Redders follows his big fullback, and that's going to make the score now 22-0, just under 30 seconds left in the first half.
And Redder says, you know what? I got some power too. It's not just all speed. He was running for the corner, wasn't going to get there, but lowered the shoulder and was able to drive into the end zone. So a nice job by Nathan Redders of finishing that run. And right now, this is the storyline of the football game. It's the size of Evansville versus that Edgerton front seven, and it's the size of Evansville-Albany that's winning the day right now. There's just too many big 300-pounders, 260-pounders up there, and Edgerton doesn't have that same kind of size to match.
All right. We want to thank A-1 Furniture, Paul Canarell, the whole crew, our official Bowl Series sponsor, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find them on the West Beltline Highway or South Stoughton Road. Evansville going to be kicking off to Edgerton. As I said, just 29 seconds left on the clock. And as of right now, it looks as if Evansville is going to have a big lead at halftime. Homecoming night, huge crowd here, and a big old blue out as we're getting ready to go to the Man City Freaks halftime show. Low line drive kick picked up at the 20. Going to be stopped dead at the 25-yard line. Good play there by the pursuit team of Evansville. Gunnar Wildman.
You see they're showing some replays there of Riker Brown, and Riker Brown with the touchdown and then the run right there by Redders. Again, it's the power running right now of Evansville that has them out to this 3-touchdown lead.
Wildman leading his team up to the line.
1st and 10 for the Crimson Tide from their own 25-yard line.
There is a snap. And now coming off to the right side, a good run there, trying to get out of bounds, not going to be able to happen. That's Zymet once again. And that could be the last play of the first half. It looks as if Edgerton will just let the seconds tick off and take it into the locker room.
Yeah, I think if you're
timeout called there by Edgerton, they want to run one more. So you might test the arm here at Gunnar Wildman.
I think at this point, only a lot of bad things can happen more than anything else. You know, it's 22-0. Yeah, you want to try and score whenever you got the football. But boy, oh boy, at this point, maybe you lick your wounds a little bit, go into the half, try and figure something out that you can do to stop the power running game of Evansville.
Yeah, and that's been what it is. There's not a lot you can do to slow Brown down. And they have a huge offensive line in front of him. And if you do find a way to slow Brown down, you have Redder right behind him, who's a little bit quicker and is going to be able to take advantage of that. Edgerton just doesn't have the size to match up with Evansville here in the first half.
The reincarnation of thunder and lightning, right?
Yeah.
You know, and when you got that as a team, you know, everybody wants to try to put that tag on thunder and lightning, the next thunder and lightning combo. That's a good tag to have. You know, that's a good weapon to have if you're an offense. If you can have that big power back followed by a speed back, and Evansville has both.
Wildman all lined up. Officials waiting. There's supposed to be 5 seconds on the clock, so they're waiting to get that fixed before we get back under play here. There we go.
Second down and 2 for the Tide.
Only 2 split wide receivers, 2 running backs, and they're just going to hand it off here. I don't really get that call why you take the timeout there. But it does go to Zymet to end the first half. And at the end of the first half here at the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. It is the home Evansville Albany Blue Devils leading 22-0 over the visiting Edgerton Crimson Tide on homecoming night here in Evansville. We're going to start off the Mad City Freaks halftime show. We'll send it down to the girls on the sideline. Ladies, who are you talking to?
All right, Lauren and I are down here on the sidelines, and we are pumped because we have an amazing halftime show for you.
We're
cannot
here, wait.
Yes, we're here at the A1 Furniture Rock Valley Bowl in Evansville.
We're going to have a special surprise from the cheer team a little later on. We're going to be talking with some athletic directors and a couple other fun interviews coming right up on the Mad City Freaks halftime show.
Don't miss it. We'll be right back on CW57 Sports.
Welcome back to the Mad City Freaks halftime show right here at the Rock Valley Bowl in the A1 Furniture Bowl Series. We've got some awesome fans and students here today from Evansville.
You can hear the enthusiasm here tonight. These
so
guys
contagious.
are great.
Absolutely.
So, ladies, you guys are all dressed in blue here to support your team. What does it mean to you to come out and support your team here at Evansville?
Well, it means a lot since it's our last year, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's overwhelming, it's underwhelming, it's all of the things, and it means everything to us. So,
And you're all seniors.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So last year you got to support big, right? Go big or go home.
Right.
That's always exciting.
Yeah.
And I noticed you guys also have the senior girls dance coming up too. Can you guys tell us a little bit about that?
It's just a dance that all senior girls do when we perform in front of the pep rally and all the parents, and we have some cool moves, and we drop it, and it's
Can we
fun.
see a little bit of those? Or are they going to be coming up here in the halftime show?
Do the drop. All right.
Here we go. Here, we're gonna get the true story here.
Pretty girl swag. Ready? No, we have to start here.
Special pre-show performance. All right, let's see it, ladies.
Here we go. Maybe Lauren
Here we
and I will
go.
chime in. You're next.
Pretty girl swag. Pretty girl swag. And that's that. Oh, they did it. Yeah.
They're singing Pretty Girl Swag in case you couldn't hear that. Pretty great. So you guys are actually going to head out. And what gets you involved? What is the senior girls dance? How did you get into this?
It was mainly like it started a long time ago when all the cheer and Palms girls started to choreograph the whole routine, and everyone got involved, and then Man Palms got involved, but of course Man Palms isn't involved tonight because they're mainly football players, so.
Well, good for you. You guys are all enthusiastic, and what a fun way for all the seniors to get together and just be pumped for your team. That's great.
So much fun. I love
Well,
the
keep
fun you're
cheering on
having.
your team tonight, guys. We'll make sure and catch your performance. Thanks a bunch.
Name those titles!
Team spirit right here. We've got a lot more halftime show for you coming up at the Mad City Freaks halftime show on the A1 Furniture High School Football Bowl Series. Stick around.
We just wanted to tell you that we can't start doing our thing until after the band because we have 4 cheer girls in band.
Okay, that's no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, hon. You want to take it in and take 1 and 3? Just take the middle and then take.
You're going to do
Welcome back to the Mad City Freaks halftime show. We are here at the Rock Valley Bowl, part of the A1 Furniture Bowl Series. Joining Jess and I now, we have the AD for Albany and the AD for Evansville.
Welcome, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Glad to have you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so we've got Brian Kishore and Derek Dasher. So Brian, can you tell us a little bit? I know it's been a homecoming week right here in Evansville. Can you tell us how you guys celebrated?
Well, first of all, it's been a great week. We kicked off the week with our Powder Puff game, and Wednesday night was our Buff Puff, and obviously tonight, the atmosphere tonight with Edgerton, our kids got off to a good start in this first half of this game, and great crowd, great weather tonight, so great atmosphere tonight, and then tomorrow night basically ends up our week with the dance at 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
What a fabulous way to end the week, and you have some wonderful kids here.
Yeah, what a fun way to spend a Friday night, and a bunch of accomplishments, I understand, too. Let's talk a little bit about some other programs that you have and some of the achievements between the two of you.
Well, we got our fall sports are off to a great start. We got our swim program that's been very competitive this fall. Our cross country, both boys and girls. Our volleyball program is doing well this year, and it's obviously our football program here, and our boys soccer program this year is at the top of the conference, competing at the top end too. So it's been an exciting fall so far, and we're very happy with our kids and our coaching staffs.
Well, lots of bragging rights for you guys, and congratulations on all the success so far, so early in the season and in the year. We're having a great time watching football, and it sounds like the other sports are doing great too, so good for you guys.
Thank you.
Certainly. So real quick, Derek, before we go, can you just tell us a little bit about the Evansville-Albany Co-op and what that does for the two school districts that you're involved in?
Sure. Albany's about 10 miles from Evansville here, and we only have 110 kids in our high school. So without the relationship in Evansville allowing us to come over and join their football program, we wouldn't have the facilities nor the players to be able to field our own team. So we're very fortunate. The relationship between the players and the families between the two communities is very close, and it's a successful co-op, and we're lucky to have Evansville.
What a nice relationship to foster among the two of you, and it's obviously a program that's working well, and we appreciate having the opportunity to get out here tonight and learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be back. We got lots more halftime show here for you at the Mad City Freaks halftime show here at the A-1 Furniture High School Football Bowl Series. Lauren and I will be right back on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture halftime show. It's the Mad City Freaks halftime show of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. And these guys are familiar faces. John, anyway, has been with us all season long, a loyal supporter of high school athletics. And we've got the family here tonight as well, and they've actually trekked along for a couple of games, so these guys are fantastic. But we're going to take a minute to mention what John and Chris have been intimately involved in so far this year, and it's coming up soon. Let's talk about Heat Up Wisconsin. Your daughter's sporting the shirt here tonight. Tell us a little bit about this program and how wonderful it is for a family in need.
Well, Heat Up Wisconsin is a program started by Lennox Industries about 7 years ago. Basically what we do is we donate a furnace to a needy family. Lennox does. The Lennox dealers in the state actually donate their time, labor, material. It's kind of a special day for them. My business partner, Chris, this is really his passion. He sits on the committee, the selection committee. There's a nomination process, and every September 9th, they all get together. They go through about 700 nominations, and they divide them up all over the state. Lennox's goal is to try to do 100 furnaces on the first Saturday of every October. And essentially, we're going to be doing 70 this year because that's all the nominations we had.
That's incredible. What an incredible achievement and opportunity to nominate folks you may know in need as well.
Well, their motto is people helping people or neighbors helping neighbors.
That's wonderful. And I think that's just so impressive. I mean, 700 applications and then 100 furnaces a weekend. So thank you guys for getting involved. I'm sure everyone is extremely appreciative.
And I'm going to just end by saying you guys are such great supporters of high school football and youth athletics and AccuClimb. John and Chris, these guys are amazing in terms of just supporting families here in South Central Wisconsin.
They've been an integral
I'm going to brag
part
on you for a minute. These guys do a great job and have just really been troopers this season. So what does it mean to you? Quick, I know we got to go, but why do you do this? Why do you support local athletics?
Well, first of all, we're blessed to be able to do something like this. And we've always followed high school football, high school sports in general. It's a good thing. Most of the time they're underfunded, and we want to do everything we can to try to help them.
Well, we really appreciate your support. You guys have been an integral part of what we do here at CW57, and we're very excited to give away the AccuClimb Play of the Game Award later on behalf of yourself and Chris and AccuClimb Mechanical Services.
As always, a big part of our night, and we're going to be back. We do have more Mad City Freaks halftime show for you. We're going to be right back on CW57 Sports. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Rock County Bowl here on CW57 Sports. It is part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl series. It is the Mad City Freeze halftime show, so the girls had some great interviews with you. And what we have right now, it's a sea of blue right in front of us. We're at Evansville. It's homecoming on top of it, and they're way up ahead on their biggest rival, the Edgerton Crimson Tide. Score right now is 22-0, and it's all behind the running backs. Big power running game. You know, if you're looking at it for Evansville, the guys we're looking at are 34 Nathan Redders, who's kind of the lightning in the mix, and the big guy, Riker Brown. And I just don't know how you stop him. Riker Brown listed at 5'7", 225 pounds. That's a big kid, and he's following some huge linemen. You know, we got guys, Brandon Dorsley, senior, 6'4", 320. We got a sophomore in there, Jeb Beck, 6'3", 340. These are huge kids, and the size of Evansville and Albany for right now is just too much for these Edgerton Crimson Tide players to overcome.
That's been the story of the game so far tonight. It's the power of Evansville, and there's just no answer on the other side for the Crimson Tide tonight.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you talk about in halftime and how you fill those gaps, but I think it has to come to a point where if you're the Crimson Tide, where you're going to have to gang tackle. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to sell out defensively on Riker Brown, and there's really nothing else you can do. Otherwise, it just becomes kind of like this slow death, you know, where you just keep getting punched over and over and over again until you fall down, because that's what Riker Brown's going to do. They're going to keep hitting you with it unless you have an answer, and at this point, I think the answer is gang tackling. Otherwise, I don't know what to say.
That's about all you can do. We're going to go check in the girls one more time. We have Lauren and Jessa. Ladies, what do you have going on down on the sidelines?
Right now we're learning or perfecting our competition routine, so it's hours of perfection getting yelled at. We get a little rough, but at the end we're like, okay, everyone did great.
Well worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and expand on the competition a little bit. So you guys are gearing up. What does that look like?
I don't know. It's like a routine where we have some cheers, some dance movements, a little bit of everything. It really takes a lot. We have our stunting. It's intense.
Lots of practice.
Lots of practice.
And now the three of you got a big team here, but the three of you are seniors. So what does it kind of mean to be last year on the team? Why do you come out and support? And what does it feel like this is the last year?
It's really bittersweet. Like, we're all a family. We're all really close. And, like, I love all these girls. I'm sure we all love each other very much. And
absolutely.
We're just trying to make the most of every minute we've got left. So
you're a great group of girls, and practices are tough. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all come to practice ready to work hard. I mean, we definitely have it all in our heads that we can do anything we set our minds to. So.
And we're going to watch a little bit of that right now. So these girls are going to take us out with a cheer. And go ahead. What kind of cheer are you going to show us? Feel free to do it.
We're going to show a spirit cheer. So let's get in our 2 rows quick.
All right, ladies, let's cheer your team on to the second half.
We're going to take up some of your football time with a quick cheer. And these girls are great. They're going to take us back to break in just a second. So go for it, ladies.
Let's see what you got.
Say, keep it up. Keep it up, keep it up, keep that devil spirit up. Say, keep it up. Keep it up, keep it up, keep that devil spirit up. Say, keep it up.
Awesome.
Keep it up, keep
These guys are
it
great.
Keep that devil spirit up. Say, keep it up.
And they're going to take us to break in 3, 2, 1.
You're watching the Soul Series on CW57.
All right. Nice job by our cheer team. We got more football for you. Thanks for watching the Mad City Freaks halftime show. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Rock County Bowl here on the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. Ryan Ashker alongside Rich Reynolds. Homecoming here at Ron Grovestein Field, and his team is up big. It is 22-0 here as the Blue Devils are leading the Crimson Tide. And I tell you what, the highlight of the halftime for me, sure, the band did great. The dancers were good, but we got to go back and enjoy some of that Subway from Subway of Evansville and Subway of Edgerton. Steak and cheese was the go-to tonight for both of us, right?
I went with the club tonight. I'm a club kind of a guy. I love the club. I'm old school. So
Old
that
school.
was like the original Subway was the
There you
Subway
go.
Club. So, me being an old guy, my 25th high school reunion is tomorrow, that kind of a thing. I'm old. I go old school Subway. I go with the club.
We do have the class of 65 is doing their reunion right to the left of
I'm
us
not
here
that
tonight.
old.
You're not that
No,
old.
I'm not.
So they could climb to the top of the stairs. You're not doing that bad yet. And here is the opening
No
kickoff
broken hips
of the
yet or
second
anything.
half.
That's great.
Evansville's going to receive it. They're going to do a fake end round executed perfectly. And they're going to get a huge return on that. All the way down across the 50 into Edgerton side and down at the 40. If we can pull up the KJ replay on that, what they did here, they just did the fake end around like he was going to hand it off there. Even fooled the cameraman, and he's going to come all the way back around the left-hand side, get up the field. There, you got to go for the tackle there if you're 67, just trying to get a penalty. The officials have called if there's a penalty. Don't try to act. You're letting a man run right by you. And when they watch the game film on that, that's going to drive Coach absolutely crazy as he's sitting there trying to get a penalty call instead of making a play.
Ken over on camera number 1 hasn't been fooled all night long. That was the first time. He's doing a great job, but that was a great fake by the Blue Devils and a big, big play to start the second half.
Evansville going to hand it off right off the bat. That's going to go to Redders. And, we saw this the entire first half. Going to see a lot of running from Evansville between Redders and Brown.
Ground and pound, and that's what both schools like to do. And it's the Blue Devils with the first drive of the second half set up in terrific field position, already starting on the Edgerton side of things. And now a good job of getting Redders out in space, a good pickup on first down. And if they get points on the board to start the second half, you got to have a feeling here that the game might be out of reach for the Crimson Tide.
Brown coming off the field for the Blue Devils. Handoff going to go to Redders right up the middle. And that will be enough for a courtesy Ford first down for the Evansville Blue Devils.
Pickup of 10 on the play by Redders. Nothing too fancy that time. They've been using Redders on the wing. They've been having them on the end around. They've been going off tackle with them. They haven't gone right up the gut, and that's the first time we've seen him go right up the middle. He's able to break through a couple of arm tackles, drive forward, and get a good first down. And what do you know? As they get nearer the goal line, in comes Riker Brown.
Courtesy Ford and Sauk Prairie, your new truck destination. As it first down for Evansville, they're going to air it out. That's going to be completed down to the left side. He's got a couple tonight. Kyle Rutkowski, the senior at 6'5". One of the few bigger targets there for Milky.
Gain of 7 on first down, as you see, just a simple out route. And there really hasn't been anything too complex being run by Evansville Albany tonight. They don't have to. With the size that they have up front and the huge size advantage, you don't have to get too fancy. Do the simple things well, and that should be enough tonight.
Now here inside the 20. I'm going to toss it out to Redders. Redders going to speed in towards the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Evansville Blue Devils. Fantastic run there from Redders. Turned on the Jets, angled it into the end zone, and that's a J&K Security Solution touchdown. Home theater, home security, now home automation. J&K Security Solutions, integrate your world.
Of course, everything's set up by the blocking as a great job by the offensive line and the receivers out on the edge to set the entire right side. They sealed it off, and Redders, from the time he got the football, he smelled end zone. He turned the Jets on immediately, ran for the corner, got it, and now it looks like almost an insurmountable lead here for the Blue Devils.
And you can tell on the kickoff that Evansville isn't happy with their kicking team. They've gone for 2-point all night long, and, well, they're going to let everyone have a bit of fun tonight as Austin Rupiper, he's going to come in at running back and run in the 2-point conversion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 6'1", 312-pound senior running back there putting in a 2-point conversion.
Edgerton thought they had problems with Brown at 260 pounds, and then they go in and put Rupiper in at 312 to carry that in. And it is just an onslaught here tonight of size, power, and speed. I tell you what, we've also seen a very well-coached team. They're doing all the little things right. This Evansville squad is impressive.
Yeah, and now under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Want to thank A-1 Furniture and Mattress, our official Bowl Series sponsor, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find them on the West Beltline Highway or South Stoughton Road.
2 years ago in this series, and it's a series that's gone back and forth for a lot of years, it was Edgerton winning 42-7 against Evansville. And don't you believe for a second that Coach Grovestein and the Blue Devils have forgot about that one. 42-7 hurts for a few years, and I think now they're starting to exact a little bit of vengeance.
Well, and some of these seniors would have been on that team that lost as well.
Absolutely.
And here is going to be the kick. One of his better ones of the night, received at about the 15 now across 20-25. Breaking some tackles there, but not picking up any more ground as they're going to be down just short of the 30, maybe about the 26-yard line.
Evansville, a team last year, as we take a look at the touchdown again, as Redders untouched until he got inside the 5-yard line, able to lower the shoulders a bit, but it was the speed that was able to turn it on. And there's the 2-point conversion as Rupiper goes rumbling, bumbling, stumbling into the end zone. Again, thunder and lightning for the Blue Devils.
What do you call Rupiper going in? Tsunami? Earthquake?
I like earthquake.
Earthquake. I don't know how much he'd like that. Rupiper had his parents go broke with the grocery bill. That is a big boy.
Daniel Simon on the carry. Down by number 25, Jordan Meyer.
Nice pickup there for Edgerton.
Zyman again going straight up the middle. He's gotten the bulk of the carries as Micah Rudd, their tailback and their leading rusher, came into the game a little bit banged up, and he got banged up again, one off in the sidelines in the first half, obviously in a lot of pain. And so now it's been to the sophomore Zymet, who's been carrying the bulk of the load.
And we're going to see Zymet again. Not going to go anywhere. He's going to get pushed back. Awkward tackle on that.
Zymet didn't have a lot of room there at all, and then got stood up at the line and driven back. As right now, you could just see it. The Blue Devils are fired up, and you know what happens on offense translates to defense as well. And that's a team right now that's playing with a lot of emotion.
And now Zymet is going to come out of the game for Edgerton as well. So already a small team. They lost Rudd, and now they lost Zymet. They're going to be hurting here. That's, well, Gunnar Wildman.
And number 30, Isaiah Rodriguez coming in. He's the third-string tailback on the team, and he's going to take over right now. And, boy, when you're facing already an uphill battle, now you got to go to the third-string tailback. Boy, it looks like a long, long night for Edgerton.
Yeah, and at 125 pounds. So they're going to air it out for Edgerton. They're going to complete the pass across the middle. It's a foot race, 10, 5, touchdown, Crimson Tide. That long pass completed to Jackson Erickson. And as we said it, as they had to go to the third running back, they decided to air it out, and that's going to go to Erickson across the middle. And Erickson showing some good speed there, able to pull down the ball and just run away from the defender. And that takes the 0 off the board for the Crimson Tide. That is a J&K Security Solution touchdown. Home theater, home security, now home automation. J&K Security Solutions, integrate your world. And just a really good route there by Erickson and able to outrun his man.
Jason Erickson came into the game as Edgerton's leading receiver with 3 catches and 19 yards. 19 yards as the leading receiver coming in. He got 60 on that play, and the touchdown. Listen, it might not make a lick of difference in the final and on the outcome of this football game, but boy, does it got to feel real good right now for the Crimson Tide to get off the schneid and to get on the board.
Well, especially against your biggest rival, the last thing you want is to have a shutout These two towns are very close. It's a very intense rivalry in all sports. And, here, especially against their homecoming, you don't want to let them have that much fun because they shut you out on homecoming. So, meaningfully, that 7 points does put something up on the board. So they're going to give the ball back to Evansville. That does bring us a Toyota timeout. Toyota, let's go places. We're going to be back with more of the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl series right here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl series on CW57 Sports. Edgerton going to be kicking off to Evansville. We want to thank Al Byers Indoor Comfort System. Feel good in every room of your house with April Air Zone Control available at Al Byers. Feel good inside.
Nice job tonight, even by the Edgerton crowd that made it out here tonight. Their student section, I think, doing the highlighter colors again. We've seen that's been very popular throughout all of our games so far this season, and a nice job of them to show up and at least be making some noise and standing throughout the game while their team is definitely far behind.
That will be an O'Reilly's Auto Parts penalty flag as the kickoff goes out of bounds. That means the Blue Devils will be able to start at the 40. O'Reilly Auto Parts, a big thank you to O'Reilly Auto Parts and their commitment to support local high school athletics. Better parts, better prices every day.
And I just want to say tonight as well, it's a gorgeous night for football.
It is.
One of these great early autumn evenings, in Wisconsin that you kind of live for, that, makes winter seem a little bit better. And speaking of beautiful, great job tonight by our camera guys. I think we got Ken, we got Mahai down there doing a beautiful job. The game just looks gorgeous tonight. I mean, save for camera 3 when it comes up here and takes pictures of us, but everything else looks pretty good. Oh,
that's
there it
the
is.
Camera. That's the scary camera. The worst camera job we have here tonight. One thing we did notice earlier when we were in the game, we were out on the field. This is really long grass on this Evansville field. They don't have a lot of speed because they depend on size. And as I say that, Lightning Redder comes in, and he's going to rattle off another big run, and he's going to get pulled down. And Nathan Redders, another huge run here for the Blue Devils. And just when it looked like Edgerton might have a little bit of spark, Evansville's going to shut that down and pick up a huge courtesy Ford first down.
You would never guess it tonight. The leading rusher for Evansville isn't Riker Brown. It's
Redders.
Nathan Redders.
Yeah.
Nathan Redders, 7 carries, 101 yards as he slips through a seam right there and pulls away from the defense for a pickup of 30. Redders, the leading rusher tonight. He's got 101, Brown 87, 198 total yards rushing tonight for the Blue Devils.
Now going to be looking to a pass here, little bubble. That's going to go thrown out to the far side. Was that Reese? Hayden Reese pulling that down there, the junior.
And he makes his first catch of the night. And wide receivers have been playing in space. Those are easy pickups on first down because of the success of the running game so far tonight for Evansville.
Yeah, so we're going to see if Evansville's going to be able to pound in here. This is where we've seen a lot of Riker Brown in the game, and he is back in there. As you have Milky back shotgun. And that's going to go to Redders. Redders up the right side, going to pick up a couple.
And that was a touchdown-saving tackle in there by 23, Anthony Northington. There was a seam, like almost a wall of blockers, as you see 3 guys coming through, blocking 1 guy. And if Worthington doesn't get Redders there from behind, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, that is a courtesy Ford first down. That'll bring up first and goal from just inside the 10-yard line for the Blue Devils. Brown, the lone setback. Fakes the handoff to Brown on the end around. That is Redders. Redders coming from the left to the right, and he's going to get down at about the 2.5 yard line. And Evansville Albany right there again.
Pickup of 7 again, and great blocking up front. At this point, the Edgerton defense just getting pushed back by a superior-sized line, and a good job by the backs being able to use those holes to their advantage, run low to the ground, and pick up as many yards as they can.
Well, I would assume you're probably going to see 31 here as they're inside the 5. No, Brown going to lead it. They're going to hand it to Redders. Redders untouched into the end zone. Another J&K Security Solution touchdown for the Evansville Blue Devils. Home theater, home security, now home automation. J&K Security Solutions integrate your world. And we've already seen about 3 or 4 different kind of gimmicky lineups here on 2-point conversions for the Blue Devils. I'm kind of interested in what we're going to see trot out here. Want to thank Kirsten Goggins as well, Dane County's premier realtor. Whether you're buying or selling, visit kjsellsmadison.com. They're actually going to go for the extra point.
And
That
got
is
it.
up and good. That will make the score 37-7. Evansville Blue Devils leading the Edgerton Crimson Tide. We're going to be right back with more of the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series, right here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. I know you've heard us all season, but now that you have a chance to see us in-game, my name is Ryan Ashker. We have Rich Reynolds. You can see us on the pregame show now. They gave us a little camera right in this area.
Love it.
So you can watch us during the game as well. So it is Evansville-Albany going to be kicking off back to Edgerton. Score 37-7, 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and all what has been a runaway from the Blue Devils from the get-go here on homecoming night. Here's the kickoff from left to right. Another little piddly kick rolls through, picked up about the 22, taken out past 30, down about the 34-yard line.
Blue Devils on the season have started fast and finished fast. They've outscored their opponents 39-14 in the first quarter, 79-12 in the fourth quarter, and for the season, 148-51 on the year. So Evansville, a team that knows how to start and finish, and you could see it, and it's because of the size of the offensive line and the fact that they can run the ball so effectively. And that running game has led to real easy short throws so far for Mielke's, hit long as well. It opens up the passing game. They basically can do whatever they want to because of the size they have up front.
Yeah, two of the more basic offenses we've seen so far this season for Edgerton as Zemek back onto the field. He's going to pick up a few yards on that. And what I mean by basic is not necessarily bad, but more old school football, straight runs up the middle, maybe a couple little dump offs here and there. But we've seen teams that air it out, teams that run it all over the field, a lot of option, a lot of interesting things, gimmick, tricky plays. Not a lot of that tonight with these two teams that are just out there kind of running the ball at each other.
No, Zemek tonight, though, having a nice night. 9 carries, 39 yards. He's pressed into action this evening for the sophomore for the injured Micah Rudd.
Zemek going to get upended, going to pick up about 1 on that carry. Want to thank AccuClimb Mechanical Services. We have the Play of the Game Award coming up after tonight's contest. Call now and get $40 off their thorough and professional precision tune-up of your furnace. AccuClimb Mechanical Services, you'll feel just right. You know what, AccuClimb, I gave them a call. They're actually coming over to do my furnace. So if I trust them with my home, you can trust them with yours. Because I don't make enough to pay the big money, so those guys are going to help me out a little bit. But no, they do a fantastic job. And here's going to be kind of that drop back and run up the middle again for Gunnar Wildman. And, you know, not a whole lot of trickery in that. I think the defense sees it coming out. That's the 4th, 5th time they've run that today. And that'll bring up 4th and 5, and Edgerton's going to punt it back.
Crimson Tide kind of out of options right now. And when your offensive line can't dictate to the defense, that's what happens as you see Pagel coming through on the play. We've also seen a nice game from 56. Lucius Reinhardt, who seems to be in the backfield almost every single play. So a great job by the Blue Devils up front to dictate the game.
Pressure put there on the punter, straight up. Not a bad punt. Taking a huge Edgerton bounce. And that's going to roll down to about the 24-yard line where the Blue Devils are going to take over once again. 3:52 left in the third quarter. That will be a turnover, obviously, on the punt and a timeout, a Toyota timeout. Toyota, let's go places. We'll be back with more of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series on CW57 Sports. All right, back at the game. It's the A-1 Friendship Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. Evansville, Albany, back on offense. And that handoff's going to go to the big guy, Bryant. And that
horse collar
is a horse collar. That's why they put that rule in. That's a dangerous tackle. And right there, 82 put his arms up and said, I didn't do nothing. That's about as clear as day. And as you pointed out earlier, if you put your arms up, chances are you probably did it, and Jackson Erickson just proved you correct.
Almost every single time, and that's what happened right there. Huge hole up the middle for Brown as he goes through with those twinkle toe feet, and then is dragged down by the horse collar there by 52.
That was a gorgeous fake. That one had me looking the other way, too. I thought that one went to Redder myself.
Now, great job by the offensive line to sell it as well. All of those things come into play. When you're a linebacker, a lot of times you're reading the offensive line, and you're looking at what they're doing, and that's what ends up making you bite on certain things, whether it's a screen, a draw, a trap, and a good job of selling it by the Blue Devils.
Coach Grovestein has a lot of weapons here on this Blue Devils team, and there's Redder's one of them.
And
that's a late flag coming in, a late O'Reilly's Auto Parts penalty flag. I'm not sure what that was. It could have been a holding downfield, but regardless, that flag came in really late.
If it was anything, I think they got the center there on a hold, and that came in a little bit late as he was able to penetrate and get to the second level. I was just going to say that's something that we haven't seen actually a lot of tonight from Evansville, and that's running weak side. A lot of the stuff that they've been running has been strong side, and the strong side, when we talk about that, is the side with the tight end, or if they run a two tight end set, that it's going to go to the two tight end side. This time they went to a no tight end side, and a nice job right up the middle. Not sure exactly where the hold was. I thought originally it was on the center. Didn't quite see it, but instead it marches Evansville back.
Bring up 1st and 17 for the Blue Devils. Brown line up next to Milky. Milky looking to pass. Going out to the left under a lot of pressure. Going to keep the ball. And not only will he surpass the original line of scrimmage, he'll actually pick up a few yards on that. See where they mark him officially, but looks to be about 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7.
Good speed that time by Milky as he picks up 9 yards and was able to get away from the rush. Not sure why you would need to throw at this point if you're Evansville Albany. I think at this point, you could really just stick to the ground and dictate terms and do what you want to do. If anything else, if you're throwing, it's only because you're trying to hone in that passing game and just get some reps for your quarterback and receivers.
Brown in the backfield. Hand off to Redders. Redders coming off to the right. Zags back to the left. Going to put a spin move across, and he's going to go down at the 20. Another big gain, and that will be a Courtesy Ford first down. Courtesy Ford, your new truck destination, and just no answer for the Crimson Tide here tonight against this running game of Evansville.
Pickup of 35, the biggest run of the night for Nathan Redders as he's up to 153 yards. He's averaging 13.9 per carry, and part of it is he's not getting touched. He walked in on his last touchdown. He was 15 yards downfield before he had to break an arm tackle. That defense right now for Edgerton's dog-tired.
Makes it really easy if you're a running back. Milky looking to throw it. Open man off to the right, and he's going to fumble it out of bounds. That was Trevor Bierman. They chased Bierman down after he had that completion, knocked it out, and you work on that in practice. One of those things where you're holding the ball, you come through and punch it out, and that's what happened there with Bierman. Lucky for the Blue Devils, it went out of bounds, so no love lost on that. And, once again, Evansville getting ready to pound it in the end zone.
Bierman running down the sidelines. That time it was his friend as he was able to pick up 14 yards and another first down. And when you can run as easily as the Blue Devils can, passing is simple.
Redders going to get the ball again and walk into the end zone. J&K Security Solution touchdown, home theater, home security, and now home automation. J&K Security Solutions integrate your world. And I tell you what, right now, Redders is making a claim for that Kelly Stelzer MVP award. Kelly Stelzer, proud to support local high school athletics. You're knowledgeable and trusted. realtor.
He's caught up quickly. 12 carries, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 13.25 every time he touches the ball. And, oh, yeah, he's got a catch for 13 yards, which is right on average as well. So, basically, if Redders touches it, it's 13 yards, you can pretty much guarantee. And just a great job tonight by the offensive line. The big guys up front, once again, leading the way for Redders.
Look at that.
Yeah, basically untouched as he goes into the end
zone.
zone.
I could drive my truck through that hole.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. And if you saw that extra point, it went higher than it did far, but that did go through the upright. That'll make the score 44-7 here. The Evansville Albany Blue Devils leading the Edgerton Crimson Tide. We'll be right back in more of the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl series, in just a moment. Welcome back to the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl series here on CW57 Sports, as we're seeing the Evansville Blue Devils completely dominate the Edgerton Crimson Tide on homecoming night here tonight. And be sure to thank Subway of Evansville and Edgerton, Molly Leader and family of Subway sandwiches in Evansville and Edgerton, cheering for both teams, proud supporters of both teams as well. In Edgerton on North Main Street and in Evansville on Union Street. Subway, eat fresh. Fed us all here tonight, as we do have the kickoff coming back into the game for Edgerton, as he was the last drive. Daniel Zeman, who went out in the second quarter, but he looks to be all right.
Gotta love it. On the EA and the pants that they wear, it says pound the rock. And there's so many definitions. I mean, yeah, that means running the ball tough. It means winning the Rock Valley North. It means bringing that sledgehammer out. It's all those things. Pound the rock as their motto, and it's on their pants. And boy, are they doing it tonight. It's kind of nice when a team has an identity and they can go out there and do it and pound the rock. And they're doing it 268 yards on the ground tonight.
And that's one of the newest things this team has. You look at those jerseys, I bet those might be the same jerseys that the class of 1965 celebrating next to us wore. There is no form fit to those jerseys at all. You don't see those anymore.
No, you don't.
The big kids love it. The athletes, not so much. Just a lot of extra stuff there to grab onto and get tackled by.
Absolutely. But, yeah, the pound the rock pants, absolutely love them. It sets the identity, and what a great job by Coach Grovestein. This field here is named after him, and he's definitely put his stamp, his identity here in Evansville. It was great to watch.
Completely. Just about done with the third quarter, going into the fourth. Less than a minute left. Edgerton with the ball. Going to be a handoff, not going to go too far, as it is 44-7.
Down by number 56, Luke Reinhardt.
Want to thank Paul and the whole crew over at A1 Furniture for supporting us this season as our official Bowl Series sponsor. They are locally owned and operated since 1980. You can find them at 2 locations, West Beltline Highway or South Stoughton Road in Madison. A1 Furniture and Mattress. Big thank you to them this year. Edgerton looking at 3rd and 11 here. Shotgun for Gunnar Wildman. Wildman going to hand it off and getting taken down in the backfield is Daniel Zeman once again. And, almost feel bad for this line of Edgerton. There's so much size across from them in Evansville. Not a whole lot they can do. It's really difficult to be physically outmatched, be down in a rivalry game, and continuously just have them pounded on you. Play after play.
Size of the line taken over. Zemit's last 5 carries. Make it, his last 5 for 6 carries. 0, 4, 1, -1, 0, -5.
Jeez.
As he has just been going backwards. And it's because the size of the line has really taken over in this football game. There's only so much you can do in football. If guys are just bigger than you are, they're hard to beat. You can't move them. What can you do? And there hasn't been an answer on that Edgerton sideline. This has really been kind of a mismatch. I thought we might see something a little bit closer tonight because it's a rivalry, but the size difference just too much here this evening.
Yeah. And one thing we got to try thinking about here is our AccuClimate Mechanical Services play of the game. Been a lot of big plays, especially for Evansville. You can call AccuClimb Mechanical Services right now and get $40 off their thorough and professional precision tune-up of your furnace. AccuClimb Mechanical Services, you'll feel just right.
Nathan Redders obviously has to have a couple in there. Riker Brown as well has had a couple of big runs and a lot of tough yardage and runs as well, as he just needs one more yard to get over 100 yards on the night. Just a lot of candidates out there right now for Evansville.
And here will be a punt for the Crimson Tide, handing it back to Evansville. Not a lot of pressure put on this time by the Blue Devils. They're going to pick it up at about the 32, down across the 40, out to the 45. A lot of laundry on the field. O'Reilly Auto Parts penalty flags come out. And will they get that sorted out? Want to thank Mad City Frites. Visit them on State Street and experience the best fries in Madison. They now have sweet potato fries. Those are good.
You're a fan. I know.
I'm
you
a
love
fan
those
of those.
sweet potato fries.
I don't know if they're healthy or not, as we do have a block in the back, but I love me some sweet potato fries from Mad City Frites.
When I lived in Arizona for a year, the big thing was cactus fries. They actually
Cactus fries?
Yeah, out of cactus, they actually make fries. And usually what you want to do is have like a sweet kind of a sauce to go with it. So either like a sweet ketchup or like a raspberry sauce or something like that, or what they call prickly pear, which is also a type of cactus. Very interesting.
This is what sports broadcasters call dead time when the game is so out of hand. We're talking about different food option menus as Riker Brown takes it up the middle once again. And he has had a very impressive game, has Brown.
That'll put Brown over the century mark as he is up to 14 carries, 102 yards for Riker Brown. And it's just pound the rock, just like it says on their pants.
Yeah.
And they've been grounding and pounding all night long of the Blue Devils.
Gain of 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 7 for the Blue Devils.
Milky still in the game. He is a sophomore for Evansville, so you do want to get him some more experience. New running back, though, Logan Katzenmeyer, who had, I believe, the first carry of the game for Evansville, and we haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, that's true. He did, and it was a 4-yard carry back then. Now he's able to pick up 8 and a first down, as it just comes from everywhere for the Blue Devils. They got so many different weapons that can hurt you, but the thing that really hurts is that offensive line.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. From their own 46-yard
Try it again. That was a courtesy Ford first down for Katzenmeyer. And there's a good defensive play from Edgerton. He had a couple getting in there. That was 77 and 74. Zachary Schmidt and Jacob Taylor getting in there, making a good play, still out there playing for some pride. Season's not over yet. Both these teams still have the opportunity to make the playoffs. And, that's something that Edgerton has as a goal. They're facing an uphill battle to get there, but they still have the opportunity to make it work out. Now under 10 minutes left in the game.
What we've seen from Evansville is a team that not only is going to make the playoffs, they can make some noise in the playoffs.
They can.
That's a tough matchup for a lot of schools.
Look at that. Katzenmeyer now just scrambling out to the right side. Big gain, huge blockers in front of him. And I think he went untouched for about 15 yards.
Yeah, and that's just tough duty for anybody out there. As actually it looked like
no, that was actually
Brady.
Well, who was that? We don't even have a 22 on our roster.
Don't
for
have
them.
a 22.
I'm gonna look into this. Who just carried the ball for Evansville? His mom's watching at home, freaking out. Gabe Dienberg.
Is that right?
Gabe Dienberg with the carry.
Nice.
I knew I'd get that. Now coming through.
And I think that's Otis
Johnson.
White Shoes Johnson.
Otis White Shoes Johnson.
They call him White
wearing
Shoes.
the white shoes too. All right, so now we're going to have to dig deep into the roster to give you up-to-date play-by-play, as they're letting anyone that wants to run the ball for Evansville, and they're being successful with it.
Unfortunately for White Shoes Johnson, that is going to be coming back. You got to love those nicknames, though, and I think it's something that used to be so prevalent in sports were nicknames. I mean, throughout the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even in the 70s, guys had nicknames. You don't see it as much anymore, but I think it's a very colorful part of sports, and I'd like to see a lot more of it. Otis White Shoes Johnson bringing it back.
Oh, that will be a timeout given to Evansville. I want to thank Toyota, our timeout sponsor. Toyota, let's go places. Also, Kirsten Goggin bringing us all of our fantastic replays here tonight. She is Dane County's premier realtor. If you're buying or selling, visit kjsellsmadison.com. So Evansville here going to be looking at about a 1st and 23. Is just over 7 minutes left in the game, and we're going to be back with more of the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl series here on CW57 Sports. Welcome back. A-1 Furniture Bowl series here on CW57 Sports. Evansville driving once again. Going to see what they're going to be able to pull off here. Up big in this game. It is homecoming for them, so a little bit extra juice for these Blue Devils. They're up 44-7, just over 7 minutes left.
Blue Devils as well with the trident on their helmet. Absolutely love that as well. As this time it's Otis White Shoes Johnson once again. I hope he gets to carry a lot more just so we could say White Shoes.
You know, I wish you guys could see this on TV. If you look up the official roster, it literally says Otis White Shoes Johnson on the official roster.
I got it from online. I was like, it's not just Otis Johnson. It says White Shoes.
That is funny. You know, I really do want to thank everyone here from Evansville. Been fantastic to us. The crowd's been great. The players were nice. The coaches were good. And especially Scott Everson, the principal, came out and helped us out today, offered us some food. Luckily, we had that Subway coming in, so we had to turn it down as Otis Johnson gets the carry there again. But fantastic, a great time here in Evansville, and we want to thank everyone for their hospitality, having not only Rich and I, but the whole CW crew out here to call this football game tonight. They were super excited. It's homecoming, rivalry game, and you know, we love being here.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and, you know, no matter where we go, they usually take really good care of us, and that's one of the real nice things about doing these football games.
Carry there, that was Katzenmeyer.
Logan Katzenmeyer on the carry.
Logan Katzenmeyer getting the carry. Now coming into the game, that is going to be Otis White Shoes Johnson coming back onto the field. So giving some of these younger players a chance to get into the game and get some experience. Tyler Austin coming into the game as well. He is a sophomore backup quarterback and strong safety here for the Blue Devils, and he is coming in at quarterback, so that'll be end of Milky's day, as he had a pretty good day. So you're taking out a sophomore to put in a freshman here at running back.
Look at the moves by White Shoes right there. There's a nice little dip and a cut, and he's not going to be able to pick up the first down on 4th down, but a gain of 6 from almost nothing, and, you know, kind of nice, especially when you have the nickname to go along with it. White Shoes doing a little dancing in those shoes here tonight.
Tyler Austin actually a sophomore as well. So the top 2 quarterbacks for the Blue Devils are sophomores. You don't see that a whole lot.
Speaks well of the future, especially, you know, Milky's done such a nice job throwing the football. Didn't look like a sophomore. We've seen seniors more rattled than he's been tonight. Of course, he's had the advantage of the offensive line and a great running game, which is always the best friend for any quarterback.
And that was a turnover on down, so Edgerton will take over under 5 minutes to go in the game. Gunner going to hand it off. Zemet, running back, picks up about 9.
Brought down by number 20, Braden Updike.
A lot of work here
picks
tonight
up about
by
8.
Yeah, a lot of work here tonight by Zemet. Already his 14th carry, 42 yards. The average, like we said, has dipped a little bit because he's been going backwards lately. But he might be able to find some room here late in the game. It looks like there's a lot of defensive replacements out there for EA as well. And for Edgerton, what you'd like to do, if those defensive replacements are out there, go down there, score on them, get some momentum for next week's game.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You know, you're not going to enjoy watching film on Sunday or Monday or whenever the team does it, but something you want to do and try to learn from it because you are an undersized team and they knew that coming in. So you want to just see if there's a way you guys can find to get some momentum going forward if you're part of that Edgerton Crimson Tide team. Also want to thank Al Byers Indoor Comfort System. Feel good in every room of your house with Aprilaire Zone Control available at Al Byers. Feel good inside, one of our many fantastic sponsors here on high school football coverage. Still in for Edgerton, that is Gunnar Weilman, 1st and 10. Weilman handing off to Zemet. Zemet, not a bad run as he gets lit up on the Evansville sideline. He's going to get up and he's going to go. Picks up about 8 on that carry and tosses one out. But you'll see here, he's going to cut it off towards the home sideline. Nice stiff out there and gets lit right there. You see on the KJ replay, hard hit, but he is going to stay in the game. Actually, they gave him the first down on that, so courtesy Ford first down for the Edgerton Crimson Tide. So that hit was worth it for Zemet. Nice pickup of yardage there.
Just the 9th first down so far tonight for the Tide.
Gunner looking to throw, and he's going to complete it. That'll be another first down for Edgerton. This time completed to Joshua Kaufman. So now with some defensive replacements in the game, this Edgerton offense starting to roll a little bit. And as you said, trying to get a bit of momentum going into next week and the rest of the season.
For Weilman, can you believe it? That's his first completion since the 60-yard touchdown toss.
Wow.
So they've been few and far between tonight. Just 5 for 9, 103 yards and a pick and a touchdown.
And Gunner going to look to throw again. Fires one. That's going to be completed down to the near side. And that goes to Clayton Klubertans. Apparently we're going to the sideline. Ladies, who are you talking to?
All right, well, I am down here on the sidelines here at Evansville, and I've got the band director, Amanda, who joins me with 2 of her lovely ladies. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great, thank you.
I'm going to give you one of the mics, Amanda, all right? You can help me out with these guys. So talk to me a little bit about what your role is here as you're kind of leaders of the group, right?
Yeah, as drum majors, we're the people that conduct during pep band, we conduct during parades, and during the halftime show, we stand up on the ladder and tell people when to start.
Well, you guys are doing amazing, and you've got some performances that you do here during halftime. So talk to me a little bit about practice.
During the week, we go out and onto the practice field or out here and go through formations. Then we can add in some music, and then we try and bring it all together. So it's a step-by-step process to get everything going.
Well, it's been a lot of fun watching you, and Amanda, you must be super proud of these girls.
Oh, absolutely. Very proud of them.
Well, you're wonderful. Thanks a lot, guys, for helping us out here on the sidelines. We've enjoyed watching you all night long. We're going to get back to the very end of the game. So back to you guys.
Welcome back to the field. It is 2nd and 2 for Edgerton, and they're looking to score here. You know, they've had a couple good plays make that 3rd and 2 on that incomplete pass. Going to be a timeout attributed to Edgerton now.
Yeah, like we were saying, what you want to do is get some momentum going. They got it down to 8 seconds left in the game, but a good job of moving the football both through the air by Weilman and on the ground by Zemet. Is Zemet right now at least able to salvage something, 63 yards on 17 carries so far tonight for Zemet. But this offense just managed 184 total yards. 60 of it came in one play on the pass by Weilman Erickson.
Yeah, and there are a lot of defense replacements in for Evansville. So Edgerton just looking to pick up a little bit here. And as we came back, there are 8 seconds left in the game.
Next week we are where? We're up in Sauk next week?
I believe we are.
Is that right? That'll be kind of cool. I don't think I've ever called a game from Sauk, so I'm looking forward to that.
I know I have not, so I'm excited to go up there. Our friends Curtis E. Ford are going to join us for that game.
Excellent.
Big supporters of high school football. Gunner going to toss one up to the end zone, going to let him jump. And nice little pull down there. That was Clayton Kubernance, and he jumped up and pulled that down over Zach Schleim for a J&K Security Solutions touchdown. 1 second left on the clock. That'll make the score 44-13, and, just a little bit kind of added motivation here in garbage time as they'll go for the extra point here, and we'll get a kickoff, and that'll end the game.
Well, if you have the Crimson Tide plus 31, this is an important extra point right here. So,
yeah.
Not sure where the line was on this game. I don't think it was that at all. But, again, it's a feel-good touchdown. You want to be able to take something away, something to build on. And I think this is what you build on next week for Coach Gregory and Edgerton as they look forward to the rest of the season, still with a shot at making the playoffs.
Extra point up and good. Scores 44-14. 1 second left, so we're going to have the kickoff here to give it back to Evansville. And barring a take-back, which I don't see them even returning this, they're going to probably catch it and kneel down. The game will be over, and we'll have a huge win on homecoming for the Blue Devils, what they wanted to come and do, and they did it how they said they were going to do it. Pound the rock. Great running tonight. We had the big guy, Riker Brown, running all over the place. Nathan Redders coming on the second half, especially a huge game tonight. If you're asking me right now, I'm thinking he's going to, or at least he'll get my vote for that Kelly Stelzer MVP award, Nathan Redders.
We might have to argue about that
Yeah?
a little bit. The way I look at it is Riker Brown had the yards when the yards were needed the most, and that's when the game was still in the balance. Redders got a lot of yards when the game already became out of reach. So, Redders had some sizzle, and he had a lot of the lightning, and he had a lot of the pretty plays and the big plays, but the bull running of Riker Brown when the game was still early on, I think is what won this football game for Evansville.
I was going to give Brown the play of the game. I didn't want to give both of them to Riker Brown.
Okay, all right. I could see that. We could split the baby here. It's okay.
One of his first runs in the game too, just because I think it was a punch in the mouth to that Edgerton defense, and I think from then on it kind of just turned the tide of the game.
Love it. Okay, I'm with you, man.
All right. Well, you got to give both those running backs some love tonight,
here,
so
right?
we'll make that work. We'll take you out to this kickoff here. And as I said, I'd be surprised if Evansville even returned it. They are going to attempt the onside. And he looked a little shocked there, not sure what to do. And, oh, boy. All right. Well, pulling that one in, that was Devin Nipple. And Nipple, I think, was a little bit shocked that he got the ball, didn't know what to do. He stood there for about 2 seconds before he moved. And that will end the ball game. Final score, 44-14. Homecoming night here in Evansville. And the Evansville-Albany Blue Devils defeated their rival, the Edgerton Crimson Tide, in what, again, a game we got excited for and turned out to be pretty much a blowout.
It did, but the alumni are happy tonight. This huge crowd here in Evansville is happy tonight. Homecoming, you always want to try to win on homecoming. Just makes it extra sweet to go ahead and win on homecoming against your rivals. So great job tonight. They pounded the rock. Execution was terrific by Evansville, and Coach Grovestein, right now has to be really proud of his boys and what they've accomplished here on homecoming night. They're 6-0 and in first place in the Rock Valley North.
Well, we're gonna take a break here in just a moment, and then we're gonna go down to the field and we're gonna have Coach Grovestein and his Blue Devils pick up the Rock County Bowl trophy. We're going to give away that Kelly Stelzer MVP award and the AccuClimb Mechanical Services play of the game. We're going to take a quick break for Rich and I to kind of decide who's going to win those. So we'll be right back with the award presentation here at the Rock County Bowl, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series on CW57 Sports. And, well, we had to talk about it a bit, but winning the AccuClimb Mechanical Services play of the game is going to be this early touchdown from Riker Brown. And what that's going to do, just having that big back come in and pound it into the end zone, change the whole momentum of the game. So we're going to give the AccuClimb play of the game here to Riker Brown.
Yeah, and this is just indicative of what the Blue Devils were able to do all night long. You keep watching it, just big, beefy guys up front, pushing the Edgerton line back, and then Riker Brown following right through like a Mack truck, going through into the end zone, and bam! And you saw that all night long, and that's why it's the play of the game, because it's the play they kept running over and over that won the game.
And that wasn't obviously their biggest gainer on the ground. That wasn't the most flashy play, but it was something that changed the entire aspect of the game, because you have that big back out there, and Edgerton just couldn't find a way to answer for him all night long. And as soon as they might have a couple guys that go through a hole and go after Brown, you had a Redders come in and just run away with it. So play of the game, AccuClimb Mechanical Services play of the game. That is going to go to that touchdown run by Riker Brown. Up next, we're going to get the Kelly Stelzer MVP Award. Right after this, you're watching CW57 Sports. And now we have the Kelly Stelzer MVP Award for the Rock County Bowl here, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series on CW57 Sports. And, I got to give it to Nathan Redders. Riker Brown had a lot of big runs early in the game. If we could split the award, I'd let him split it. But just the average per carry and the amount of yards that Redders racked up earned him that award in my book tonight.
Redders tonight, 12 carries, 159 yards, also had 3 touchdowns, 13.25 per carry.
Wow.
Then also had a catch for 13 yards. When he touched the ball, it was a first down or more. And so, that was very impressive tonight, as Redders was able to do it both with his speed, but also lower the shoulders when he had to, get low to the ground and finish off runs well. So you could see why he's their leading rusher so far on the season for an Evansville-Albany team that could definitely pound the rock.
So Nathan Redders will be our Kelly Stelzer MVP of the Rock County Bowl here, part of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series on CW57 Sports. We're going to head down to the field at Ron Grovestein Field, and you know what? We have Coach Grovestein waiting by with our Player of the Game, and you know what? The winner of the Play of the Game award. Ladies, who are you talking to tonight?
Great job, guys, and great game.
So we are here to give away the AccuClimb Mechanical Services Play of the Game, and joining us is John, who's going to give out the award. Now, the award is going to number 31, Riker Brown, who one of his first runs of the game really helped catapult this team to a win. So, John, I'm going to let you take it from here.
First of all, congratulations to Evansville on their nice win tonight. On behalf of AccuClimb Mechanical Services in Middleton, I want to present the AccuClimb Mechanical Services Play of the Game to Riker Brown.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, Riker.
Congratulations and good luck the rest of the season.
So big thanks to John and Chris from AccuClimb Mechanical Services for supporting local athletics. And we're here at Evansville at the Rock Valley Bowl, where they have just defeated the Crimson Tide on their home turf here on homecoming night. So it's got to feel pretty good. We're going to be right back with the MVP after this. Stick around.
Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture Rock Valley Bowl postgame show. And once again, we've got the Evansville Blue Devils. This is their homecoming game, and they just won in a big rivalry game against the Edgerton Crimson Tide. You can hear the excitement over in the student section right now.
Oh, yeah, lots of energy here tonight. And there was a lot of key players on this team. But the MVP award, presented by Kelly Stelzer and CW57 Sports, goes to 34 Nathan Redders. And Nathan, you did a great job tonight supporting your team and bringing them to a win. How do you feel?
Pretty good, thank you.
Well, on behalf of Kelly Stelzer and CW57 Sports, we'd like to present you with the most valuable player for the Rock Valley Bowl. Congratulations.
Great performance tonight, thank you.
And we're going to be right back with these very excited Blue Devils. We're going to give away the final trophy right here on CW57 Sports.
Cheering.
It's the A-1 Furniture Rock Valley postgame show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the A1 Furniture Rock Valley Bowl post-game show. And now is a super exciting moment of the night. We are here to present this A1 Furniture Bowl trophy to the winning Evansville Blue Devils.
Yeah, the moment we've been waiting for. We've got quite the trophy here to present to this team. And, Coach, what a great win on homecoming night. It's got to feel pretty good.
It feels great as a team, let me tell you.
What a great team you have
A team
here.
effort for sure. So on behalf of A1 Furniture and CW57 Sports, if I can lift it, we're going to give you this great big trophy.
Congratulations.
These guys may need to get a bigger trophy case. And I think this bad boy is about 35 pounds, so well-deserved here tonight. We're going to turn it over to Ryan and Rich, and they're going to ask Coach a few more questions, but how exciting.
Thanks. And Mike, Jesse, you're short. So my core is little. Coach, so you didn't want to give us a game plan tonight, but it turned out to be pretty evident that you guys were going to pound the rock tonight. And you came out and did that early and really turned the tide of the game, not only with Brown, but Redders. And you got a couple of guys in there running it tonight, all of them behind that big offensive line, able to pick up some yards and win the ball game.
We call our offensive line the Dogs, and that's what they did tonight. They rooted it out for a win.
They did.
Yeah, pound the rock is your motto. It's on your pants, and you guys definitely did that. You also stopped them from pounding the rock. Great job on defense tonight. They seemed to be around the backfield and in the backfield all night long.
All night long. It's a super effort by our coaching staff on defense and also on offense.
Well, I tell you what, this is one of the more energetic crowds we've had this season here.
They're amazing, yeah.
In Evansville, you know, obviously you want to keep your guys focused on the game, and a big game, not only the rivalry game that we talked about, but homecoming, a huge crowd here tonight. You know, does that just kind of help and keep the team going into the fourth quarter when they might get tired of having a lot of motivation behind them?
We don't get tired because we got Evansville Albany behind us.
Well, there we go. It's been a fantastic night. The Evansville Albany Blue Devils picking up a huge win here in the Rock Conference Bowl here tonight, part of the A1 Furniture Bowl Series here on CW57 Sports. For Lauren and Jessa and Rich, my name's Ryan Ashker. We'll see you next time here on CW57 Sports.